Yes, guys, you know what time it is. It's your boy David at the Irish Hotspur, Ireland's #1 Spurs fan, and co-host Jack Kinnicky, bringing stats with Jack. If you want to be the most informed person in the pub or whoever you're watching the game with tomorrow afternoon, this is your show, guys. Jack will be bringing you all the stats and all the tactics that you all need to know. Jack, my man, how are you?
Keeping very well, David, over in Seattle. Nice little time off, but obviously always have to come back with the stats with Jack, give everybody the tactical insight, the stats insight. Also maybe you can be the most informed person on how we can best destroy the Clarets, come tomorrow as well, Dave. Looking forward to this one. As always, it's absolute vibes going into stats with Jack. Definitely looking forward to this one.
No, it always is. And look, there's no reason why we shouldn't be beating these tomorrow. They're down in the relegation zone. So,
yeah.
Look, I know Thursday night was bad, but look, we did make 9 changes. I expect to see roughly the same again tomorrow. So there's no reason why we should not be winning this game. But look, Jack, as always, we like to see what Irish Hotspur Army members are in with us tonight. So let's see who we got. First of all, kicking it off with a bang, it's George, who has become a new YouTube member. Big up, George. I hope to see you on Monday for the fan show, my man. Make sure you come on and make yourself an appearance. Big up, Georgie boy. We have Omari Sobers Tottenham. We need a win. That we definitely do, my man. That we definitely do. Look, if we win tomorrow, we can jump ahead of Wolves, go into 6th, and puts us 1 point behind Arsenal, who are in 5th. So we want to keep up there. So we definitely need to win, my man. We definitely need to win. Daryl Denton says finding the team shitter than us on the day. The only tactic with us at present. Yeah, that is a fair point, to be fair, Darren. Big yourself up, Darren. Tottenham Tantrum Gold. It's Saturday night, and we all know what that means. It's Stats with Jack, with the American magician, with the Jack Stats man, Kinnicky, and his partner in crime, a.k.a. PIC, Iron David, Irish Hotspur Harris. Come on, you Harris Army. Big up, Dermot, my man. I hope you are keeping well, brother. Hope you're enjoying that new PlayStation 5 as well. You lucky man. You lucky man. Gillian Kenny's in the house. Big up, Davo. How's things? I am watching I'm a Celebrity. Get me out here with Newcastle Muppets, Ant and Deck. I can't understand them. I like David Ginola. What about you? Come on, you Spurs 2-1. Look, David Ginola, man. I used to go to the lane and watch him with the dad. Very fond memories. A very skillful player. Very, very skillful player, I have to say. He was a player I really looked up to growing up, Killian. Yeah, he's a player you should be looking more into, my man. We have Zanuska Ramshunder. She says, good evening all. Not happy at all with the Europa Conference performance. The players need to pull their socks up and play much better tomorrow. No doubt about it. They owe us fans a performance. Make no mistakes about that, Zanuska. And we better see it tomorrow, because if not, honestly, I don't see many more fans pulling up with this, I'll be honest. Look, a lot of fans came back in their droves with the content team. They're starting to slowly go away again. They're starting to really get pissed off with this squad. Big ups to Zanuska. I hope you are keeping well. Paro Miguel Escobardo, good evening, fam. Big yourself up, Paro. Hope you're keeping well all the way from Lagos, my man. Paranormal Yido, top of the morning, lads. Big up, Paranormal Yido. Hope you're keeping well, my man. Where were you Monday? We were anticipating you to call in Monday, my man. Where were you? We were waiting for you, brother. Chris is in the house. Good evening from a stormy Newcastle. Come on, you Spurs. Come on, you Flat Cap Army. Come on, you Harris Army. Are you not watching I'm a Celebrity too, Chris? No, that not show you would watch, my man. Big
tuck
up, Chris.
Yourself in with a bit of stats and Jack, Chris. Tuck yourself in. Get a nice hot cocoa. Get ready for tomorrow.
No, 100%. You're dead right. Look, put marshmallows on that hot cocoa as well, my man. Just adds that bit of extra oomph to it. Derek Hutchinson says, big up, Jack and David. Big up, Derek, my man. I hope you're keeping well, my man. The regular, good evening, everyone. Come on, you Spurs. Come on, you Harris Army. Good man, the regular. I hope you're keeping well. I hope you've had a good Saturday, my man. Elias as well. Big up, Jack and David. I hope you're keeping well, Elias.
Legend.
Who else have we got in the building? The truth will set you free. The truth sets you free. Big up, everyone. Big up. Big up, my man. I hope you're keeping well. My brother, one of the best golfing coaches in the world. Big yourself up, lad. Pete from the lane. Big up, lads. Must win tomorrow. Come on, you Spurs. Pete, I hope you are keeping well, my man. I hope you're keeping well. I hope that young lad is keeping well as well. I didn't give Santa too much of an extensive Christmas list, my man. Sorry about that. Catman Jess says, big up Harris and Flat Cap Army. Jack Statman Genius and the GOAT David Harris. Everywhere we go. Big yourself up, Catman. I hope you are keeping well, lad. Look, I can definitely contest that Jack, or I can definitely confess that Jack is a genius. My man, he is a genius. Me the GOAT? No, man. I'm just a normal Spurs fan like everybody else. Big yourself up, though, cat man.
Legend.
Adrian Straka says, good evening, fellow Yids and Yidettes. My man, Adrian, I hope you are keeping well. Kevin K says, up the boys. Up, Kevin K, my man.
Legend.
Big yourself up, Kevin. Mr. Daigle's in the building. Good evening, everyone in the chat. And, of course, at the Irish Hotspur and at Jack Kanicki. Big
joined
up,
by
Daigle.
royalty.
Big up. We're joined by royalty today. Big up, Daigle. I hope you are keeping well. 2J, my man, really appreciate the super chat, brother. Really appreciate it. It's a big one. He says the title of the video is wrong. It should be how Tottenham think they can beat Burnley and fail. No, yeah, look, that is definitely a good point. But you know me too, Jay. Look, I like to think on the positive side of things. You know, that's just the way I am. I just always like to think, look, I dust myself down and then just move on and I'll come back again. And you make no mistake about it tomorrow. I will wake up out of my bed at 9 a.m., put on some Spurs songs, and I will believe we can win tomorrow. I believe we should go up there and still hammer them. So, look, let's see what happens. But all I will say is they owe us a performance. Maybe some of them might show up tomorrow. And like I already alluded to, Conte made 9 changes midweek. Look, they're all players we've all spoken about leaving the club. No surprise something like that happens. We've all been saying it for a long time. They're not good enough. Well, you know, most of us have been saying that they haven't been good enough for a long time. And look, when the first team are out tomorrow, let's see what they can produce, 2J. Jack, what do you want to say to 2J?
Like a lot of things too, Jay, you know, sometimes you go in with a plan and then the moment, you know, the whistle, you know, is blows, you know, that plan just goes out the window. And that's probably going to be the case maybe with Spurs when you think about it. But that's why we still do this show, because then we can at least build ourselves up in anticipation for how we can best beat these Clarets, Dave. You know, also as well too, Jay, I would say, you know, at the end of the day, you got to have some sort of idea of how we can best win this game. And sometimes we've seen, you know, even in times past where we can see how we've lost the game and we've even predicted it on Stats with Jack. So it's a two-way street. You know, we can either show you how we could lose this game. We can also show you how we can win this game. You know, there's just no missing on this show.
No, definitely not. Definitely not. But 2J, big yourself up, brother. I really appreciate the support. Top man. We have King Hoddle in the house. Good evening, good evening, good evening, King Hoddle. I hope you're keeping well, my man. I hope you're keeping well. ATX7 Gaming. Let's go, David and Jack. We should be getting 3 points. Come on, you Spurs. That's what I'm talking about, ATX7 Gaming. That's what I'm talking about. Look, some of the players' mentality may die, but us fans, we will never die. That's for sure. You know, we will always have that winning mentality. Big yourself up, ATX, my man. Deadly. I love it. I love seeing people get, you know, up for it. Even though, look, I get it. The loss on Thursday was embarrassing, but there's nothing in the rule book to say I cannot get revved up for this game tomorrow. Vince Vega is in the house. He says, we are not going to beat Burnley tomorrow. Come on, cold, wet, and windy at Burnley. We will fold like a cheap suit. 3-0 Burnley. Come on, Vincey boy. Come on, my man. Look, you know, if these players aren't going to represent the team with pride, we have to do it. We have to front up, you know. We cannot be down like this. Other fans will trample and walk all over us, you know. We still have a reputation to uphold, my man. Come on, Vincey boy. Look, we'll tune in tomorrow for the preview starting at 10 a.m. and then the pre-match pump-up over on We Are Tottenham TV at 12:30. And I will have you going into that game thinking we're coming out winning 15-0, my man. Big yourself up. Dave Tyson, member of the Dave Army. Evening, lads. Evening, Davey boy. Hope you're keeping well. Chris Nash is in the house. He says, Tottenham are embarrassing. A draw tomorrow, sorry. Yeah, no, look, I understand it, Chris. But come on. Like I said, 10 a.m. tomorrow, preview. Pre-match bump-up and We Are Tottenham TV at 12:30. You come out thinking we win 15-0, Chris. Come on now, big yourself up, my man. Shane O'Neill watching you, the All or Nothing documentary again, and I've just noticed those poxy players get more massages daily than a teenager on a gap year in Thailand. Pampered clowns.
I don't even know.
Shane, you didn't get me in trouble. That's good, though. No, Shane, that's good. Honestly, I thought you were going to go along the Levy and Lewis route, but look, you know, I absolutely love it, Shane. That's a fair comment. You know, especially Deli Ali, you know, he's getting massaged, you know, asking the guy what his top 3 favorite chocolate bars are, my man.
Yeah, what type of toothpaste he uses while he's getting a massage. I mean, seriously, but big up, Shane. I don't know how to say it. That's a fantastic comment.
Big up, Shane. Rasta Country's in the house. Good evening, gents. Come on, you Spurs. Come on, you Harris Army. Come on, you Flat Cap Army. Big up, Rasta. I hope you are keeping well, brother. I hope you're keeping well. I love the name as well, by the way. Jammy Git, David Jack. Come on, you Flat Caps. That's what I'm talking about, Jammy. That's my man. Beat yourself up. Kuva99, big up to the Recovery Channel. The weekend starts here. 2-1 Spurs win tomorrow. Fate restored. Deadwood exposed and thrown on the fire Forward we go with Conte's team. Here we go. Quad is still on. Look, Kuva, I know you probably don't mean any bit of this, but big yourself up, my man. Quad, I still believe. No, look, I'm going with the triple. I'm going with the triple. I'm going with the. I'm still going to go with the Europa Conference League. I still believe we'll get out. Look, maybe the Europa Conference League could turn into something like our Champions League run. Champions League run, we only got out last game in the group. So, we can still do it.
Yeah.
We still don't write off the Carabao Cup. We could still pick up a bit of form over this month going into that. Still not writing that up. And while the FA Cup, Kuva, you said it better. We have history in that. That's our trophy, my man. You've said it. So big yourself up, Kuva. But I love the positivity, though, in all honesty, my man. And you're doing great out there as well on everything you're doing and all the channels. Keep it up, Kuva. Simon Stevens, more chance of Spurs winning the title this year than me being able to buy a PS5 anytime this century. Very lucky man that he is, Simon. Kevin Ferguson's big up, big man, OG, and big up your chest, Jack. Your man setting the bar high with your tactics chat on the YouTube scene. Big up.
Thank you very much, Kevin. Thank you very much. Big yourself up, though, Kevin. Big yourself up. Thank you for joining us. As always, it's absolute vibes going into this. Maybe this is the way, I would say, for everybody that's feeling down about tomorrow. Maybe you can, satisfy yourself, watch how maybe we might get hurt by Burnley, but then we always wrap it up with how we're going to absolutely destroy them. It's basically the most, kind of the most level-headed kind of show you can find. The best way to go about analyzing what could go wrong and what could go right tomorrow. Big up, Kevin.
Well, Jack, it was level-headed before you get in, and now I just go off and think of a way to win. You have Kuva counting all the goals as well. So Kuva definitely let us know tonight how many we win by. Seb Shah, big up my man Brian. Hope you're well. Big up, Seb. I hope you're in the chat. I hope you're keeping well. Faz Rafar must get rid of Delhi, Doherty, Session, Winks, and Davies if we mean business. Yeah, fair point. I agree. Still call is in the house. Just give everything to win. That's all that matters. Exactly, my man. Spot on. Simple but effective. Mr. K is in the house. Hi, guys. Big up, Mr. K. Hope you're keeping well. Tommy Blanche watched enough of I'm a Celebrity to get me out of here on Thursday. That's the attitude lots of our players were saying about themselves with their performance. Yeah, look, wouldn't be surprised to see maybe, look, Endon Belly maybe could do a stint out there. Let's see. Maybe we can get him in there next year. Dark Sung G21. Come on, you Spurs. I hope Son can score a hat-trick today. Jack, what would you say to Dark Sung G?
I would love to see him get that hat trick. I feel like, Sonny's just gone a bit cold recently, but I think that just has to do with maybe how the team's been playing. I feel like he's a bit, kind of bereft of confidence at the moment. And, I know he'll find it back, especially, he scored basically one of the greatest goals I've ever seen in my lifetime against Burnley. So I think he knows that, and like a lot of teams, though, Dark Sun G, Sonny is, a bogeyman for almost every team out there. And so hopefully he sees Burnley as a nice, fresh little breakfast for him in the morning, to be able to get some goals, get that hat trick and just feast on one of those. Absolutely want to see it. Dark Sun G. I mean, Sonny, I'm not too worried really about him at all. I think he's getting that hattie, just like you say.
No, look, Puskas award winner against Burnley. 3 goals, 3 assists in 10 career appearances against Burnley. The only downside is, though, 4 games, no goals, no assists in these last 4 Premier League games. So, look, Dark Sun G, hopefully Sonny can find the back of the net tomorrow, my man, and lead us to victory. Come on, Dark Sun G. David's in the house tuning in while driving. The best duo on YouTube. Going to be a cracking stats with Jack. So big up, Dave. I know, Jack, you had the pleasure of meeting the man.
Yeah, absolutely. And honestly, Dave, he's absolutely massive, David is. I mean, he stood like a full 6 inches taller than me as well. And I'm around like 5'11". So the guy, he's almost Kim Min Jae height. He's like an absolute monster. So big yourself up, though, David. Good to see you as well, my man. And hopefully we'll be able to catch each other soon.
No, 100%. Big yourself up, Dottie. Dottie is Irish for Dave, by the way. Big up this person, Dark Sun G. If you can let me know what the name is, my man. They say hi, everyone. Big yourself up. I hope you're keeping well. We have Shabina M. Chaps, have you seen Antonio Conte's interview to the Italian press? It's very insightful. He says winning with Spurs will be more beautiful. No, I haven't. I do have an email below. If you could just click on that and maybe send me that would be absolutely awesome. Look, me and Jack are trying to learn Italian anyway, so it might help us. Big up, Shavina. Big up. Dtrex Kane is in the house. I hope you're keeping well, Dtrex Kane. William Kelly, wow, with the big one. My man, William Kelly, really appreciate it, brother. You're too kind. Wow. Jack, he says, I'm thinking of joining a elite assassins club and heading to Hotspur Way to take out the Deadwood, because if there isn't a performance tomorrow, I'm going to explode. And like everybody else, we are getting over the embarrassment. What would you say to William?
William Kelly, I even sent in a super chat, for David's watch along, and I was saying that basically, these players are paid over 100 grand a week. Like they can find their own the way home. They can buy their own flight, from Slovenia. They can get on the plane. They can get on the bus. They can get on the train with all the fans that traveled out there for that game. They should go through the embarrassment of probably sitting next to some of those fans that had to endure that sort of performance. I feel like it's absolutely shameful that they even got on a team bus or a team coach and a team flight. They shouldn't be allowed. They're paid so much money as it is. They can find their own way home. I even said they can take a bus, take a Flixbus, they could swim. I mean, take a life raft, I don't even know at this rate, William Kelly, they just didn't deserve to be on a team bus with, the crest on that bus. They really did not deserve to be on there. I would say as well, though, join that elite Assassins Club, maybe play a bit of Assassin's Creed tonight, maybe kind of sneak your way into the stadiums, then, fly from, the Skywalk and then just do an absolute, RKO on Harry Winks if he's starting tomorrow. That might be the best way to go about it. Sometimes, Dave, they have people parachute into the stadium. We'll see William Kelly parachute in to assassinate some of these players. It'd just be absolutely glorious. I would say, though, about Deadwood, what makes Deadwood even more useless is that you can't even use it for a fire, William Kelly. It's usually, too hard to burn, Deadwood, it's a bit too wet, it doesn't really have that spark to it. So really, it's just our Deadwood is just useless in every single way. But big yourself up, William Kelly. Really appreciate it as well. The absolutely huge contribution as well. Really big yourself up, man. Also, it's good to see you as well, William Kelly. Hopefully you enjoyed this show tonight. But I definitely feel like as always, these players have done you wrong. They've done you and Luke wrong. They really have. And hopefully they can maybe get some sense of resemblance back together.
I'll be honest with you. Look, I hope you hit Luke from that. I hope you put on a movie for him because, if he's aspiring to be a football player, my man, looking at the likes of what we've seen Thursday is not good for him. It's everything but what they should be showing any youngsters out there. Look, I'm still raging. I'm still hurt. I'm still upset over that, because no matter what, that result shouldn't be happening. You're talking about Ndombele, who's represented France. Dele Alli's been to a European Championships and he's been to a World Cup, You look at Davinson Sanchez represents Colombia week in, week out. Joe Rodon or Wales represents Wales. You look at Doherty, plays for Ireland. Left wing back Sessegnon, he's been playing at a high level since 16 years of age.
Yeah.
It just gets worse and worse the further you go up the field, my man, and it's just embarrassing. It's
just frauds.
Embarrassing.
All frauds. They're all frauds.
And the more you look at it, look, I'll be honest with you, not that there is anything positive to come from that game Thursday, but one thing we can now say is just we need to stop defending this Deadwood. Oh, what if we do this? What if we play them here? What if we change their position? What if we make them captain? What if we make them a leader? What if we do this? What if we do that? Cut it. No matter what you do with half of these frauds, it's been exposed time and time again. I'm going to keep listing them off. Colchester, Antwerp, Pacos de Ferreira, Dynamo Zagreb, NS Mura, Vitesse. You know what I mean? The list goes on and on and on and on. So no more of this crap. Stop persisting with them. Get them out and get them gone as quick as possible. I want to see some gone in January. I want to see some gone in summer. And whoever's not gone out of this club by the last day of the transfer window, I want their contract cancelled. I want their contract cancelled. Look, it's the only way to do it. We've done it with Serge Aurier. We need to keep doing it. Cut the call and get in the players. Look, me and Jack, we've obviously we done a show there last week on the amount of money that the owners have put in their pockets. No more of this crap. Where's the money coming from? Find it from your pockets. Also, don't forget, didn't Joe Lewis's company not make a profit over the pandemic? So he's made profit over the pandemic. He has the money. Make no mistake about that. Absolutely embarrassing. And we need to get this sorted out, William. Big yourself up.
Big yourself up. Thank you for the big one, William.
And do not worry, that cap is on the way. It just takes a bit of time because I have to sign it, send it over to Jack. Jack has to sign it, then send it back, and then I have to send it over, my man. But we will get it to you. Do not worry about that, William. I hope you're keeping well. JC says, how's the lads tonight? Big up. We're all good, JC. I hope you're keeping well. Look, like I said, still embarrassed, still hurt. But at the end of the day, we still love the club and the badge. That's all that's what it is, my man. Lewis says, evening, boys. Big yourself up. Lewis Aaron Dove is in the house. Evening all, and a big welcome to the Korean Hotspurs in the chat. Big up, Aaron. I hope you're keeping well. We'll get a few more, and then we'll get into the show. Govan says, when is Marcelo next on? I had a question to ask him. Believe it or not, he's actually on the watch along tomorrow with myself and Jack. So
yeah, we'll see him tomorrow.
So make sure you're in there, my man. Alexander Hilton says hello. Big up, Alexander Hilton. I hope you're keeping well. John Fitzpatrick, we are in the shit, nothing to be excited about. No, look, I get it. But at the end of the day, it's Tottenham Hotspur. I'm still going to get up and watch the game like all of you guys tomorrow. So look, I don't want to go into it just pissed off. I want to try and get at least what enjoyment I can, because look, I've said time and time again, Tottenham Hotspur is the only thing I have of interest in life. And you know what I mean? At the end of the day, if I can pick myself up for a game, I'm going to try and do it, my man. But big up, John. Alan Aronson, Jack David, how come you follow Spurs? It's totally being a Spurs fan over here in North London. How come you brought into being a fan in Ireland and America? I am curious. Respect your commitment. Yeah, Alan, look, I'll give you a quick backstory. My ma's father, he was a Spurs fan. He's from Belfast in Northern Ireland. My father and his brother, they're both Spurs fans, brought up in County Kildare in Ireland. My old lad moved across to England. We were living in Croydon for a little while. So, he used to bring me across the Spurs games in the 90s and that. And then, of course, we moved back. But look, basically, nuts and bolts of it is, it's all I've ever known. My dad used to buy me books, the history on Tottenham Arsenal, history on Tottenham. He used to get me all the match day programs. I have a load from the 90s, scarves, little kits and everything else. So my old lad got me into being a Spurs fan. Jack, you?
I mean, seriously, Alan, I hate to say it this way, I'm a bit of a sick puppy for the torture. I kind of like it, at certain times. It builds character. I'm not kidding. If, having a team that you support that wins too much doesn't really build you any character, kind of gives you false, realities, when it comes to life. It's good to get life lessons from Spurs, as well as, I'm just, being an American, you get kind of that privilege of being able to choose, and having no connection. And then you build that connection over time. That's what I did, especially. I didn't really want to be much of a bandwagon Chelsea fan, bandwagon Man United fan. Didn't want to really be such a glory hunter like the rest of them, and think that I was there from the beginning kind of thing. I just want to be part of a club that I knew could invite me in, could welcome me in, and then, be able to achieve something all together and also go through the pain together. So it's a bit of a sick puppy for it. That's all I will say, Alan. Big yourself up.
Big up, Alan. Big up. Bed Knobs and Broomsticks says, evening, boys. Must bounce back tomorrow. Come on, you Spurs. Look, my man, if we do not bounce back tomorrow, it's going to be carnage for the next while. I'll be honest with you, because no matter what, we have to use this squad until January transfer window. And even then, there's no guarantees that they're going to splash the cash early to try and get us in players, or even at all. So it could be a very long season. Look, we need to bounce back tomorrow with the win. We need to go up to Turf Moor full of confidence, slap them. Look, Lucas Moura hasn't been on form. You know what I mean? We need him to open up. Harry Kane, 1 goal in 10 Premier League games, although he's a top scorer. Look, he needs to open up tomorrow. And Son needs to open up tomorrow, top scorer in the Premier League, but no goals or assists in the last 4 games. So, our forward line need to come together tomorrow and really, really open up. And look, it's the only way that's going to bring us to victories, because we're going to be fair to Conte. He has actually kind of shored up the back line a bit, to be honest with you. Now we just need to start firing on all cylinders like goals, bed knobs and broomsticks, and hopefully we can do that. But definitely we need to bounce back tomorrow. Big up, my man. Really appreciate the support. Keith Hicks is in the house. In Conte we trust. Absolutely love it. Still in Conte we trust, man. Nama King, let's forget Thursday and win tomorrow. Come on, you Spurs. Absolutely love it. That's what I'm talking about. Lazier 01. Buona serata, lads.
Buona serata. Buona serata. That's what he's saying, Dave. Good evening to you as well, Lazier. Good evening to you as well, my brother.
Good evening, Lazy. Hope you're keeping well, my man. What a legend. Believe it or not, still actually haven't had time, man. The missus has been dragging me places. I've been busy. But look, I will get that up. After tomorrow's game, actually, I'll do it. And I'll send you a picture, and I'll probably need you to help me too. But big up, Nick, my man. A great Kakarata says, oh my God, lads, love your show. Let's go beat Burnley and bring the 3 points home on my actual B-day tomorrow. Celebrations commence again. Woo! Well, Ellie, Happy 30th birthday. I hope you're keeping well. I hope you enjoy your day and big yourself up. Big up, Ellie. Jacko, you want to say anything, Ellie?
Happy early birthday to you, Ellie. Hopefully you've been enjoying the whole weekend. As my family likes to say, it's a birthday weekend. Don't just leave it to one day. Maybe don't, leave anything behind. Enjoy the whole weekend. So hopefully you've already been celebrating it, and don't let Spurs ruin the birthday as well. So that's why I'm saying right now, Ellie, enjoy yourself, have, a bit of that champagne before, so that you're not drinking, maybe the bad kind of champagne tomorrow if things were to go wrong. Enjoy yourself. Don't let Spurs ruin the birthday. Have a wonderful birthday weekend, Ellie, and an absolute queen of the Harris Army. Good to see you, Ellie. And also, we're getting that 3 points tomorrow. But just in case we don't, Ellie, don't let it ruin it, because you deserve to have a beautiful birthday. Big yourself up.
No, you definitely do. And look, you might be seeing me sooner rather than later, because a few of us Irish are sieging on London the weekend of the February 12th to 13th when we play Wolves. There's myself, Philip Brady, Dermot Miles, one of my best mates, and Oliver Freeman going as well. Anyone else that wants to go, hit me up. We can all travel together. We're going to do a day trip, fly in early that morning, fly home late that evening, and get the game in. Any Irish guys that do want to go, tickets are on sale tomorrow. Get them and hit me up, and we can all travel together and have one good session, let's say. Paranormal Yido says, do you think Son should go up front? Kane is number 10, Jack.
This is my feeling, is that if we get that second striker in the building, I feel like what we could do is that we could still kind of do a version of that 3-4-3, but Kane kind of drops deeper and is comfortable dropping deeper, and then you keep Sonny and maybe a second striker, another goal scorer up top. I think that's how you could maybe drop, Kane into that number 10 position, because he can still play through the middle like a striker, but he would be more comfortable dropping deep, and he wouldn't have to wait for other players, to catch up to him, so he could play them in behind. If you get that second striker in, you get that Vlahovic in, you get that other kind of whatever forward in that is a goal scorer, you could probably find it so that Harry Kane could be that, number 10, that he drops a bit deep, has maybe a bit more comfort dropping a bit deep as well. And you just have him playing in balls in behind and linking up play to the likes of Sonny and that second striker. That's when I see Harry Kane moving into that number 10. But Sonny should always stay up front. He should always move up front. He should always be up there. Big up, though.
Big up, Paranormal. I hope you enjoyed Jack's answer. Let him know if you agree in the chat, though. Kuva99 says, Jack, thankfully Hugo is back tomorrow. Do you have any stats on Galini, mate? I have a bet on with a friend that he has yet to save a shot this season. Is he just a specialist ball boy or ball bag?
Might be more of a ball bag. I'm actually getting really frustrated with Galini, Kuva. I feel like I don't know, maybe I'm just a bit biased. I just kind of hate it when I see a keeper never dive for it. Like, I get when they're wrong-footed, but you feel like in both scenarios, like, he wasn't exactly wrong-footed, because you see that guy cut for the first goal. You see him cut inside. We all know where he's going to put it. He's going to try to put it in the top bins. He's going to try to put it in the upper V's and try to curl it. And Galini just watches it go in. I just hate it. Like, I'm not a keeper myself, but I just really hate it when I see a keeper watch the ball go in like that. It just doesn't really make a lot of sense. It was a great strike. At the same time, though, just for my own sake, at least dive for it, Galini. And then on the second one as well, he acted like he was totally wrong-footed, when really, at the end of the day, he should be on his toes, and he probably could have still saved that one as well. When I think about it, I think it's just two people that are very accountable for those two goals. Davinson Sanchez, we all know, basically gave up both of those goals, and it just basically ruined the whole evening for everyone, despite how few chances Muir had. I feel like he really did just ruin the whole evening. And then Galini, I don't know. I don't think he did himself a lot of justice. He hasn't done himself a lot of justice this season. In terms of his actual stats, I'm not too sure, but I'm pretty sure he does not have that great of a, I believe it's called a PSXG. It's like post-shot expected goal or something like that. I'm pretty sure his is probably not too high. I bet it's actually quite poor. He doesn't really seem to save anything from outside the box. He seems to almost have like near depth, kind of like nearsightedness when it's, outside the box as well. He just always watches it go past him. There's that one moment when one of those shots just went right by the post, as well as another one that he didn't dive for. It just really, I don't know. The guy just, he has bags under his eyes as well. I'm just getting into like Galini kind of like conspiracy theories now. I'm almost thinking he's like the second coming of Joe Hart, but an even bigger partier than Joe Hart is.
Absolutely love it, Coover. Brilliant super chat, my man. I really appreciate the big one, brother. Really, really do appreciate it. Look, I'm not convinced on Galini either, lad, to be honest with you. Look, he just can't save any shots from outside the box, really. Even the two goals, look, maybe the first one you could say, maybe, look, it was bended around the defender, he lost sight of it. Second one, I don't really expect him to do much, to be honest with you. It's kind of just one of them. It ricochets off one of our players, goes over his head. He reacted not quick enough. But yeah, look, I get it, Kuva. I'm not exactly sold on him either, my man. The truth sets you free says more. FC winger swap jersey with Sanchez after. Yeah, of course he did, lad. Because it's the best performance he's ever had. You ripped him inside out, man. He has that at home. He's like the time I ripped one of Tottenham Hotspur's players apart. My man, I just... Like, why are they even swapping jerseys? I mean, just get out of there. Just
I
get
mean, he
out
should
of
be
there.
swapping jerseys because he could say, like, this is the guy that ruined my career, took away my wages, basically got me out of the football club. That's what he's probably doing, is like a bit of a memento to his shittiness. That's probably what it is when I think about it,
Oh,
truth. Hopefully that's the reason is Davinson Sanchez can remember, this is the guy that ruined my career. This is the guy that, proved everyone, right about Sanchez. In my case, he proved me wrong. I was kind of backing Sanchez for some time, and now there's no defending him anymore. There really is no defending him anymore. So that's what I would say is, seriously, that's probably what it was, is a bit of a memento to his own shittiness.
yeah. Got done with the same move twice. I mean,
Yeah,
Jesus
Jesus.
Christ, if he was in WWE, we'd have got his contract
It's the memory of a goldfish.
Dan Coyes says, think the team need to check out your pre-match pump up to give them the motivation. Gets me raring and ready to cheer on the team on match day. Yeah, no, look, Dan, I think we need to start a petition online of getting me over there to maybe start giving some of the halftime team talks or get them to be on the bus to the game so I can get them revved up, my man, because yeah, look, it's just not good enough. I mean, let's be honest, for the last 2 years at this club, we're seeing or even especially last season and this season, you're seeing only 45 minutes. They either have a good first 45 minutes and don't do enough to win the game, or else they have a crap first 45 minutes and go out trying in the second half to win the game. When are we just going to put in a complete 90 minutes? And that's why I need to be on that team bus, because I can guarantee you, man, we would get a full 90 minutes if they let me tell some of them some home truths rather than people around them buttering them up the whole time. They need to hear it. They need to hear it, Dan. But big yourself up, my man. I hope you're keeping well. And really appreciate the compliment, to be honest with you. Look, the FC Moro one was a tough one. I mean, I am doing the Lord's work there. Let's be honest. I mean, it's just a hard one to get people pumped up for, but it shows I'm doing the job, Dan. So big yourself up, my man. Let's quickly see what other names we have in the chat, and then we will get into it. Tot943 is in the house. I hope you're keeping well, my man. James Watson is also in. I hope you're keeping well. Eddie Ryan is here. Rafael Javed is here. I hope you're keeping well. Sue Smith's in the building. Big up, Sue Smith. Scott Hyman is Hynam is in as well. Who else have we got? Let me see. Jesus, absolutely flowing tonight, Jack. You must be doing something, mate. Must be all sitting there like, shut up there. Let's just give me stats. Puka Pete is in the house.
Great name.
It's my birthday. I'll be there. Big up, Puka Pete. I'll see you there, my man. Paddy Harnett, I hope you're keeping well. He's also going to the game. He's going to Champagne Lane. Big up, my man. Hope you're keeping well. Merry Christmas. I love the name. I get it. It's a good one. It's a good one. Big yourself up. Brad says he's in the house. I hope you're keeping well as well. Go get a one. It's good to see you in the building. Good to see you. Who else have we got in here? Let me see. Amanda Top Heavy. Big up. I hope you're keeping well. She says Conte bought a flat cap for the match. Come on, hashtag come on, you Spurs. No, look, no need. I'll send them over one. I have no problem sending them one. Absolutely love it. Honestly, these babies they're taking off. I see everybody with them nowadays. Even around my own county, I walk around, they're all wearing them now. They're loving it. Loving life. Giving men new confidence worldwide. So it is. Maria Williams says our motto should be Jack.
I think this might be Latin. This might be Latin. I think it's Supice. I'm going to butcher this as well. Suspice, Peruculo, Tuo, non infermis. Support at your own risk. It's not for the weak. Come on, you Spurs. Maria, you probably are winning, the poetic or, the philosopher's, comment of the night. We give a lot of comments of the night, funniest comment of the night. That's probably the philosopher's comment of the night. I would say that's exactly what Spurs fans are. I think we actually have the thickest sort of skin. We can be a bit fickle at times, but I feel like we have the thickest kind of skin because we know how to deal with, probably defeats better than anybody else. We know how to defeat, handle failure better than any other team. You saw Man United, fans absolutely throwing their toys at the pram, crying over everything, couldn't see the, the light at the end of the tunnel, basically we're just honestly embarrassing themselves. And it's like, come on, guys, like get in line here. I mean, seriously, like with what we've had to go through these past few seasons. I mean, David, we even had one of them in the chat at one point, Man United fan, like he was just complaining. It's like, geez, after what we've been through, I would say. we do support at our own risk. I would say being a Spurs fan is not for the faint of heart, certainly is not, but it makes you a better person. It makes you, have to, it's just good life lessons, gives you good, kind of life teachings and whatnot, Maria. And I know you're full of them. I also want you in that dugout, though, Maria. I want you in that dugout, giving them that beckoning, after Antonio Conte does. I want you standing right behind him, giving him a bit of that, pep talk in the halftime, just like, Conte does. Guys, I can tell Maria, she probably would be making these players swim home.
No, definitely. She definitely would. She wouldn't. She'd just give them a pair of armbands and say, off you go. Absolutely love it. But Maria, I'm not even going to attempt that because I'll be honest with you, I can barely speak the English language, let alone this. But big yourself up, Maria. I really appreciate the support. Everybody, make sure you smash that like button. If you are new to the channel, make sure you absolutely obliterate that subscribe button. The big push for 5K is on. I can nearly feel it. We're only 85 away. Let's see what we can do over the weekend to get there. As well, like so many others, feel free to get in a super chat, guys. It is a great way to support myself and Jack on a journey. It's absolutely, a massive, massive help to everything we do here at the channel. It really is on a day-to-day basis. You have no idea, but do not worry. Look, we know Christmas is around the corner. We know there's, everyone has a lot of people to buy for. It's an expensive time of the year. So look, just even get your comments in the chat, and we promise we will get them up. Well, if you have it, why not throw one in? But big up, Maria. Really appreciate it. We have 2 more there, Jack, and we'll start giving people their stats because they're going to start a riot now shortly. The True Sets of Free says, I was on Dele Alli's Fortnite live stream at 4 a.m. Thursday morning before Mora FC game. He has a great channel. Like and sub if you can.
I don't know how we got, connection over there in Slovenia. He must have some inside connections there. Seriously, honestly. I mean, probably Dele Alli, as well. He probably books his own hotel so he can, doesn't have anybody, sleeping in the same room as him, because he probably just needs, all of his space for his Fortnite gear. Probably, even makes the plane probably 3 times heavier with all the Fortnite gear he's taken home with him, as well as, he has a few crayons stuck in his head, from, times past as well. But Truth Sets Free, all I can tell you is, I mean, Dele Alli, when Tanguy just absolutely disappointed me. He just made me just really disappointed in just everything that he is. I'm really starting to lose faith in the guy. But I will say, I think we could have been like Dele Alli. I mean, talk about useless that first half. Again, another half where he's taken off at halftime, I believe, Dave, or like taken off, very close to halftime. It's just the guy seriously does nothing right. There were multiple times as well where Harry Kane was clean through and he didn't even want to play the pass or like felt like he couldn't play the pass. It just doesn't even take any risks. I don't know. The guy is just don't even know anymore. Dele Alli. He doesn't want to be a footballer. He's just there to pick up his paycheck and then go back home to, put on the headset to play a bit of, Fortnite. I mean, seriously, the guy, he's a human walking crayon. I just don't care anymore with Dele Alli. Seriously, the guy's useless.
Yeah, the Truth Sets You Free. Look, the walking ketchup Heinz bottle, walking ketchup advert. Look, he's really annoying me. I'd read in his hair on Thursday. I mean, it's just, look, he cares more about his gaming and everything else than he does football. For me, that doesn't fly at a club like Tottenham Hotspur. Get him gone. No need for him. Big up, Truth Sets You Free. Really appreciate the support, brother. What a legend. At Kuva99, I've been trying to simulate Sanchez's performance. All I need is a llama, an acid tab, a ship with an ice rink, and some really bad weather, Jack.
Probably so.
Kuva's mind does baffle me. It baffles.
Here's my thing, though. I probably more like a camel. Probably because I feel like a llama is actually a bit better on its feet. Yeah. Actually, I feel like a llama wouldn't get spun as easily as Sanchez would, so probably I would take all of those things that you just said, all those conditions that you just put out, Kuba, but I would actually go for a camel instead because I'm pretty sure a camel can get spun a bit more. Camels, they don't have as much of a turning radius, as a llama does, but certainly both of those animals have much better turning radius than Sanchez does. I mean, the guy just got beat with the same move each time, and then he just has a memory of a goldfish as well. Like seriously, Kuva, but all those conditions are perfect except instead of a llama, I would go for a camel or even a giraffe. I think he's actually more like a giraffe. Actually, seriously, like he has the turning radius of a giraffe.
Oh, absolutely love it. Sanchez would probably get onto you in one of the chats. Kuva, and he'd be like, Lama, take a selfie with you. Absolutely love it, Kuva.
He brings on ice skates when he should be wearing football boots. I mean, seriously, the guy, it just didn't even look like the weather was even that bad. Like, seriously, I just don't know how he's getting spun, and just, he loves falling on the floor as well. Like, he loves eating some grass. He really does. So actually, I see where you're coming from with the llama comparison, because maybe that's what llamas do, you know, so he really loves eating the grass off of the floor. So maybe actually llama is more appropriate. It's a very tough decision, though.
Big up Kuva. Oh, he's a man. He's some man. Fazrad Far says, what set pieces we will then be fine. Come on, you Spurs. Big up.
Yeah.
Look,
that's a big set point. Yeah. I mean, Burnley are just, they probably work on half of their training sessions are probably just working on set pieces, because that's where the majority of, you know, their tenure in the Premier League has been from, is they don't really score from open play very much. This season, they've scored a lot more from open play. But in years past, I mean, majority of their goals come from set pieces. They really work hard on their set pieces. And we will break that down. It's kind of interesting, because I was trying on kind of the animations to, you know, basically try to come up with 3 types of open play goals for Burnley. It's very difficult to do, actually, Faz. It's very difficult to do, because I know that the most likely way we'll concede is probably through a set piece to them.
Yeah, no, it probably is. But big up, Faz, my man. Really appreciate the support. Let me know if you're going to the game tomorrow, lad. Truth Sets You Free says the team is as motivated as a stone teenager with a new PlayStation. Conte's biggest gig by miles. Humor is our only hope till transfer windows.
I would actually say, in that case, a teenager in that scenario would be quite motivated, because he's probably, you know, just absolutely looking forward to playing on that new PlayStation. Whereas these players just have no motivation at all to be playing football. So I would say that teenager that you just mentioned, Truth, probably has even more motivation than some of these players, I would actually reckon.
No, definitely, 100%. Look, you know, we're definitely going to need a lot of humor between now and January transfer window anyway, for sure. Maybe well beyond. So it's good that we have a chat full of people with great personalities and good banter, my man. Look, Conte's biggest challenge. Look, he has to get them motivated. 100%. I couldn't agree more. But look, there's no better man in the business to do it. If he can't get them motivated, get them out. That's what I say. But big up the Truth Sets.
Thank you very much, Truth. Thank you very much, my man.
And then Jack Kuva99 says, I don't say giraffe because I would sound silly.
It would sound silly. No, I mean, I'm starting to think about the llama kind of, you know, metaphor, probably, Kuva. And I would say with the llama, actually, it just starts to make sense, because we used to say that, you know, GPS Sanchez, he just loves, you know, falling on the floor, just loves putting his, you know, face in the turf. And, you know, seriously, kind of is more similar to maybe like a llama, because I know that's exactly what a llama would also do as well. It's just put its face as close to the grass as possible, just like Davinson Sanchez. So I think actually I take it back. Instead of a giraffe, I would probably go actually towards a llama. Still maybe feeling like the camel comparison is also pretty accurate as well. But maybe the llama is the best choice. Well done, Kuva. Honestly, you really thought it out.
Absolutely love it, Kuva. Big yourself up, my man. I really appreciate the support. But look, guys, now is the time to put everything more behind us. And let's bring on Burnley. Jack, take it away, my brother.
Trying to bring on Burnley. No more Mura. Definitely well said, David. We are going to break this down, everybody, and go through the cold, hard facts. Burnley have only 1 clean sheet so far this Premier League season. Usually you kind of associate them with having, you know, kind of a fair number of clean sheets. You know, usually they don't concede too many goals, but that's kind of been more or less kind of the opposite this season. They've actually conceded a fair amount of goals, especially recently. They've, conceded a lot of goals. And so that actually could be a bit of a sign of hope, hopefully. Again, we are a team that really does struggle to score. So, you know, it could be maybe the right sort of recipe. Tottenham have only failed to score once in our last 14 matches versus Burnley. Another great sign. I guess that this is a bit of a punching bag team for us. Hopefully we can continue that trend. Burnley are unbeaten in their last 4 Premier League matches. This is very interesting because the majority of them were actually pretty decent draws for them. They had that spectacular 1-1 game versus Chelsea where they could have lost 6-0, but somehow they pulled it off with a 1-1 and then actually looked in the last 5 or 10 minutes like the better team. And then in other times, I believe they drew against Southampton as well. They also, I think it was Norwich as well that they also drew with. But then I think they're one. I forget who they're the team that they did beat. But they're definitely in decent form. not the best sort of form. I feel like that sort of fact is a bit kind of misleading, but definitely they are in decent form, you might say. Only Everton have won more points from losing positions than Spurs so far this season. Maybe it just shows that all we need is a bit of wake-up call every time. We just need, to have, the back of the net bulge, and then we just somehow will find ourselves, needing that motivation. It's the worst kind of way to play, to go a goal down and then all of a sudden turn it on. But it just seems like that's what our players are like this season. But it isn't actually just, that's why it's a cold, hard fact. There's no other way to look at it. It's just a cold, hard fact right there. We seriously do, quite well, actually, when we go a goal down. So maybe that can give us a bit of optimism if we do go a goal down tomorrow. Spurs are averaging their lowest shots per match since our 1997-98 season. That is sickening. That is sickening. I have no answers for that. That needs to improve right away. Antonio Conte has only had one Premier League match. He's had 2 Premier League matches so far. I think we've already seeing ourselves, having much more distance covered. I feel like we're seeing ourselves have way more chances created. But seriously, I mean, this just needs to change right away. Head to head. Spurs' all-time record versus Burnley, 51 won, 28 drawn, 41 lost. Last 5 matches, we've basically almost won them all except for 1 draw. And I believe if you were to take 6 matches, we did lose 1, I believe, in 2019. But we have actually decent form against Burnley. Like I said, a bit of a punching bag team for us. Hopefully we can continue that trend. Antonio Conte's record versus Sean Dyche, 2 wins, 1 draw, and 1 loss. Antonio Conte's record versus Burnley is just all against Sean Dyche, but 2 wins, 1 draw, and 1 loss. Sean Dyche's record against Spurs is 1 win, 4 draws, and 11 defeats. So the guy does really struggle against us at the end of the day. It seems like Sean Dyche just can't really handle whatever we throw at him. So I think that is a good sign, hopefully, that he does really struggle against Spurs.
No, it's definitely a good sign. But Jack, just before we move on, Cuva99 says Levy would rather have paid for a camel.
Honestly, at the end of the day, camels are a bit more expensive, so I probably would say you just stick with the llama. I think you stick with the llama. Cuva99, I think a llama, if I'm not even mistaken, I think it's something even the whole like alpacas are, more useful than llamas. So basically this team is full of llamas. I would say, a camel is actually a bit more expensive, a bit better. And also a giraffe is also a bit better as well. So I think you stick with the llama. I think you were right the whole time with the llama. Cuva99. William Kelly with another big one. Really appreciate you, William Kelly. I don't know what to say, my man. We actually really appreciate you. I don't know what to say. He says, my boy's been listening to the show and he asked me who are the people the boys are talking about. So I explained to him about the situation, how certain players have not been trying. His response was, idiots, sack them. He is 8 years old.
That's what I'm talking about.
I absolutely love it. This is the motivation. This is the kind of people we need at this club. Again, he's already developing that sense of ruthlessness that he needs to, William Kelly. I can also tell that he's related to you just by that kind of, attitude that he has. I can tell that he's related to you for that reason. So figure yourself up, William Kelly.
And look, I just want to say, look, this is to you, Luke. If you are watching the show, big yourself up, man. Look, throughout being a Spurs fan, I'm sure your dad has already explained it to you. But look, there's going to be many highs, many, many lows. Probably more lows than there is highs, but never, ever change your club. And this is what we love the most, my man. Look, once you get to learn more about the history and everything else about it, you're just going to fall in love with it. But look, no matter what, always stick by the club and always represent just like your old lad has. But never, ever stop being a Yid. Big up, Luke. And I hope
love that attitude, Luke. Absolutely love it. And I would say, Luke, especially with that sort of attitude, you're welcome to have the catch up in Mayo again. I know I keep saying that, you're welcome to have it, but seriously, don't worry about what Antonio Conte will say. Don't worry about what, Mr. Kelly will say. Just big yourself up, Luke. And I'm loving this sort of ruthless attitude. I honestly, if he was, doing a career mode or something, William Kelly, he'd probably just have like 7 or 8 contracts, torn up, right in the beginning. So, Luke, really looking forward to sending over that flat cap to you, my man. Also, hopefully you're keeping well and enjoying your weekend. But big yourself up, my man. Absolutely love this attitude. I love this ruthless attitude. And I can tell that you're absolutely related to William with that sort of attitude. Just ruthless realism. When
it comes to your club, always keep that ruthlessness, my man. We need the younger generation coming up with that ruthlessness. Big yourself up, William Kelly. Big up, Luke Kelly. And I hope you're enjoying the games. Luke Kelly.
Legends.
Man, what a great movie that is as well. Did you ever watch that? The Kellys out in Australia now. Good movie, William. Big yourself up. Let me know if you're in relation to you, of course. But Jack, look, take it back away. Big up, William, though, man. Really do appreciate the size of the support, my man. Top man.
Yeah, really. I mean, very, very, very generous of you, William Kelly, and pick yourself up, my man. Hopefully you're enjoying your weekend. Burnley's formation here. We are going to go in basically a Burnley predicted lineup. We do have Charlie Taylor, left back. He's been, kind of a weird combination of just being kind of a stopgap in that defense. Doesn't really get too far forward. Doesn't really do too much, spectacular, but he does get stuck in. Ben Mee is joined by Collins for this one because I do believe James Tarkowski has been, has actually received too many yellow cards and is on suspension, so he will not be allowed to play. Matt Loughton, I don't really know how you say it. It's going to be at right back. Goodmanson, the Icelandic international, and then Brownhill and Cork are going to be in there. I believe, what's his name? Is it Washburn or someone? I believe who's, often in there alongside Brownhill will not be there.
Westwood.
Yeah, Westwood. Yeah, Westwood. Sorry, excuse me. I'm not much of a Burnley expert, everybody. But Jack Cork will be playing instead. I believe he's 31, 32 years old. So I think he is someone that we absolutely should target. He hasn't played too many matches for them. And so I feel like, he is maybe someone that might be a bit rusty going into this one. Dwight McNeil is an absolute threat for them. Definitely their main creator. Then Maxwell Cornet, as well as the Chris the Goat Wood up top for them. So that is the Burnley predicted lineup going into tomorrow. Our key player for this one is going to be Chris Wood. There are not too many stats really to kind of back up, Chris Wood's kind of brilliance for them. But I would say when it comes to Chris Wood, he has the most aerials won in that team, which isn't a surprise with 69. The most progressive passes received, which is a pass of 10 yards or more. Remember, they use that route one kind of style, that route one approach, just hoof it long to the big man up top. That is Chris Wood, and he has received already 66 progressive passes this season. Most targeted player in the entire team as well, which is very important. I think he's targeted. The next person in line has like 100 fewer targets than he does. So seriously, the guy is they just look for Chris Wood's head every single opportunity they get. 559 targets so far. Most touches in the attacking penalty area with 38. Second most passes made under pressure with 95. And the second most goals with 3. Not a lot of stats to back up Chris Wood, but I would say he is the guy. If you shut out Chris Wood, you basically shut out their entire offense when you think about it, their entire attack, because seriously, this is a guy that they basically use to start everything. They don't really bother with intricate, sort of passing play or patterns or triangles or not. They just basically hoof it long to the big man. And that's basically their MO in terms of attacking. So Chris Wood is definitely a key player for Burnley.
No. Do you know what, Jack? He's just a handful, isn't he? He's a handful.
I've always been a bit of a secret fan of Chris Wood. I kind of call him the Chris the Goat Wood. There's a big Chris Wood fan club out there. I think when we were kind of looking for that second striker under kind of the Levy budget that we kind of know that we were under over the summer, I thought Chris Wood would have been an excellent second striker for us to go for. The man has consistently banged in over 10 goals in every Premier League season. I believe as well when he was in the championship, I think he hit in over like 27 or something in the championship. The guy's just a decent goal scorer at the end of the day. He doesn't do it pretty. He doesn't do it in a super sexy sort of way or anything. He just bangs the ball in. It just, kind of takes his money for it. And I kind of like that about Chris Wood. I respect him. He is somebody that I think you do just bring on if you need to. Whereas also as well, I'm pretty sure he would have handled those Mura players quite well, would have bullied them all over the park. I have always kind of liked Chris Wood, Chris the Goat Wood, as I like to say. The Truth Sets Free says, this is for you, legend Luke Kelly, the smartest 8-year-old in the world. Come on, you Spurs. He is the smartest one. I'm loving this realism. I wouldn't be that ruthless at his age. Yeah. And like I said, it's because he's already getting sick and tired of some of these players that have put him down. I mean, seriously, he doesn't deserve, this kind of, treatment from the players. He really doesn't. And so he's given them the treatment that they deserve through Luke Kelly. Absolute legend he is. And Lightwork saying, Burnley, you are expected to beat them. We are expected to beat Burnley. They're shite. I mean, yeah, they're pretty shit in terms of their actual style of play. It's actually quite easy to figure Burnley out. They don't really hide, with any sort of tactical genius or whatnot. They kind of play the same way against every team. But I will say the funny thing about Burnley is they've scored, I think, more goals than maybe some might expect this season. They've actually scored a fair amount of goals, which I think is maybe all due to Cornet being in the side. So I would say they're actually a bit stronger than in years past. They're a bit stronger this year than in years past. Dwight McNeil is certainly someone that you definitely have to look out for. But I said this before. I thought Leeds United was going to be a much tougher match, than this one. I think Leeds United was the toughest one that we will be going into for these next 5 matches. And I feel like Burnley is going to be one of the easiest ones. So big up Lightwork.
No, big up Lightwork. Absolute legend. Definitely expected to beat Burnley. That's all I can say. Look, and I'll never, ever say we shouldn't be beating Burnley, ever. I mean, you're talking about guys that are farming during the day and playing football in the evening. Come on.
Seriously, I mean, especially over at Burnley side. But Sean Dyche, I would say it's just he doesn't hide. He doesn't hide how he plays. He plays the same sort of way. It's Route One football. It's basically all you have to do is just get ready for a big physical battle. You got to get ready for no intricate sort of style, beautiful style of football. You just have to be ready for a lot of elbows. A lot of kind of dirty kind of playing up top, and hopefully our defenders are ready for it. And also, they do give up the ball a lot, so they absolutely are shite. But we need to not, take them for granted. We can't take them for granted because some teams have this season. Dan Coy is saying, I think up front, we're not playing as a team. We're not thinking on the same page. We sort that out, and the goals will hopefully start coming. That is a great answer to a potential preview question tomorrow, Dan. That is a fantastic answer, I would say. I feel like with certain players, it seems like they're not on the same wavelength. I don't want to go so far to think that they're not trying to play each other in. I would never really think that, but it does seem like, we're often not on the same wavelength. It seems like sometimes a player might be selfish when he shouldn't be. You'll find also a player not, picking his head up when he should be. I do feel like Lucas Moura is super guilty of that. Like there are moments when he just has his head, glued to the floor when he really just needs to pick his head up. In Sonny's case as well, it seems like Sonny and, Harry Kane are just not on the same wavelength as they used to be. But hopefully they'll find that sort of, kind of connection. Hopefully they'll find that sort of kind of like chemistry that they used to have before. I'm really not too worried about it. I feel like we will start banging in the goals once again. And because, they're probably starting to feel the pressure themselves at the end of the day. They're probably feeling the pressure themselves from the fan, because these are goal scorers. These are the people we rely on. They have to be able to bang them in for us. They have to be able to start firing, because then we're going to start, basically directing some of our kind of anger and hate towards them. And they definitely don't want that. They probably don't deserve it. But at the same time, we need our goal scorers to start coming through. So hopefully they're starting to realize that, they can't waste too many opportunities as they have done so far this season. But big yourself up, Dan.
Yeah, big up, Dan. Absolutely great comment. And look, you took one of. I do have a question on that actually at the preview tomorrow at 10 a.m. if anyone wants to tune in. I do have a question on that, and I have a few stats from Kane, Son, and Lucas as well. So should be very interesting question. Make sure you come in, Danny, and give us your answer. Big up, Dan. Really appreciate the support, my man. Jack, I have a coffee machine. I'm just going to take 2 seconds, man.
No problem,
make
Dave.
coffee. I'll be back in 1 second.
Absolutely no problem. And so everybody, big up, Dan, though. That's a fantastic comment, my man. Absolutely fantastic comment. We are going to go into now our unsung hero for this match, which is going to be Dwight Mcneil. It's probably not a surprise. I probably could have done Cornet for this one, but there weren't too many stats to go by for this one. I think the entire attack for Burnley does go through Chris Wood, and then somebody who's basically their main creator, their main facilitator is Dwight Mcneil. Someone, again, I actually would say I would not mind having over at Spurs. The most key passes with 17 in his entire squad. It's actually not too many actually key passes when I think about it, but key pass basically is a pass that leads to a shot, leads to a goal, leads to some sort of, development of play. It's basically just a key pass that leads to a big chance created. Most shot creating actions, which is a fancy way of saying chances created, with 35. Most crosses in the entire Burnley side with 42. Most switches of play with 28. Most passes into the penalty area with 20. Most players dribble pass with 27. He does have the most players dribble pass as well. Most carries into the final third with 23, and the most fouls drawn with 20. Dwight Mcneil, I would say, is actually somebody that we kind of have criticized Brian Hill for being someone that only plays on the left wing as a left-footed left winger. Yet Dwight Mcneil has kind of made this sort of his kind of role for some time. He's actually quite comfortable on the left wing as a left-footed player, and is very good at actually creating on the left wing as a left-footed player. I could see maybe more or less, Brian Hill sort of doing more or less the same thing over there. It's not kind of too crazy to think about Brian Hill being somewhat like a Dwight Mcneil kind of creator on the left-hand side, but Dwight Mcneil is certainly the guy that you have to look out for. Most of the best crosses, most of the best balls into the box come from Dwight Mcneil. He is a fantastic hitter of the ball, really knows how to strike a ball cleanly and well, can hit a banger if he is on the right side so he can curl it. Also just has fantastic delivery into Chris Wood, is decent actually in kind of the tight areas, can dribble past players a bit more efficiently than most Burnley players. I'll tell you that. Definitely has the most techers in that squad as well. And he is decent at carrying the ball up. He's actually just somebody I've always kind of respected, somebody I've always thought is kind of a shining light and a pretty shit team when you think about it. So Dwight Mcneil is Burnley's unsung hero, somebody who I do feel like we should probably, at least take a look at, even if we want to kind of solve that creativity problem at Spurs. He doesn't really score too many goals, but he definitely pops up with maybe a decent amount of assists, as well as just, just good creative numbers. He just has good creative numbers at the end of the day. But Dwight Mcneil, everybody, that is our unsung hero. We are going to move on to how do Burnley attack. It is going to be the first animation here is going to be Wood at the back post. Chris Wood, He's an absolute menace in the air. Probably one of the best headers of the ball in the entire Premier League when you think about it. I think every Premier League team fears this guy. He just is an absolute monster in the air. He just doesn't really, fancy himself as, kind of a beautiful sort of number 9. He just does the hard work, just does the dirty work in the air. And we are basically just going to see more or less that. And it is going to come through a Dwight Mcneil cross, which is probably not too unlikely when you think about it. And Kuva 99, I promise I won't let too many goals go in via Burnley this time. But it is basically just kind of route one approach. Most of these goals will be route one approach. It's basically a long ball into Chris Wood. Chris Wood knocks it down to Dwight Mcneil. Dwight McNeil crosses it into the back post for Chris Wood to not knock it in. One more time here. Chris Wood absolutely sizing up Eric Dyer here. He goes to the back post and then is able to hit it across to Dwight McNeil hits it across to Chris Wood for basically a bit of a header there. It is basically not too surprising at the end of the day. None of these animations are going to be too sophisticated. It is Burnley at the end of the day. They're not a sophisticated team in the way that they play. But like I said, route one approach to Chris Wood. Dwight McNeil finds Chris Wood at the back post. I think what's very scary for this one is that we do have to realize that Chris Wood is somebody that will take advantage of players like Ben Davies. If you find Ben Davies going up against Chris Wood at the back post, you probably can watch that, going into the back of the net. I feel like maybe the player that needs to be on Chris Wood at all times is Eric Dyer, but Eric Dyer, I don't even back against Chris Wood as well in the air. Maybe Tanganga could have a decent, spell against him. Tanganga is kind of a monster in the air himself. I would like to say that maybe you just have Tanganga just following around Chris Wood as much as possible, and then have, maybe Dyer and Davies deal with Cornet, because I am very worried about Chris Wood against the likes of Ben Davies and Eric Dyer, because I don't really fancy either of them in the air. So that is actually one of the goal animations for us. The next one is going to be a McNeil delivery, kind of similar to that last goal that we showed, but you kind of almost have to show it twice because, again, Burnley, they kind of score more or less in the same way every time, which is pretty much a Dwight McNeil cross into the box to a Chris Wood kind of situation. This is basically, again, a long ball up to Chris Wood. Dwight McNeil just takes it down to the byline and just crosses it over to Chris Wood. I'm kind of almost making fun of Burnley by basically doing more or less two of the same exact animation, because it is exactly how they play. They basically do it this sort of way where they just get it to Dwight McNeil at the byline. He'll put it in a beautiful cross into basically someone at the back post, and it usually is almost often Chris Wood. Chris Wood is also a very hard worker as well, and I'm actually trying to show that as well. When he wins that knockdown, he isn't, just sitting back admiring his work, from the knockdown. He gets deep into the box right away and will just basically do exactly what we're seeing here, where he will take advantage of Ben Davies at that back post every single time. He will take advantage of Ben Davies at that back post. So I'm very worried about us dealing with Chris Wood, because he can win a header over virtually anybody in the entire league at the end of the day. But David, I mean, is that maybe a fear that, is just something we have to, kind of, rationalize, is that Chris Wood, he is going to be an absolute nuisance to deal with tomorrow?
No, he is. Look, Jack, he's going to be a handful, and I'll be honest with you. The reason why I think he's going to be more of a handful for us, especially this time around, is look, you're playing with Dyer and Davies. Look, Davies will get bet in the air by Chris Wood 9 times out of 10. Dyer and Chris Wood probably could be a good battle, but again, I think Chris Wood would beat him. And not only is it just flick-ons, Chris Wood can jump up in the air and take the ball down on chest. I mean, as well. It's hard to even compete with the guy. I mean, look at the guy. I mean, he's huge, man. He's built like a rugby player, for God's sake.
Mm-hmm.
He's an absolute unit. He's very good in the air. Very, very good in the air. He's absolutely lethal. But not only that, Jack, anything drops around in the box, you mark my words, he'll be in it. He'll be in on it as well.
He's always in the right position for it.
Well. He is.
All you have to do is just hit him. I mean, if you miss him, that's more on the player. He's always in the right position, and he is just you almost need 2 or 3 players on him at once, because he has a decent vertical ability. He is very physical. He almost gets kind of a sickening kind of likening to kind of the physical play as well. He likes a bit of shithousery, Chris Wood. I don't know. He's somebody that I feel like you do have to worry about. He is someone you do have to worry about. And
as well, Jack, it's not only that, but for me, if I was defending him tomorrow, if I could, right, I would be bringing one person in, get one person to sit in front of him and one person right behind him, and make it as difficult as possible for them to hit long balls up to him. That's what I would be doing. And just quickly, do I trust Davinson Sanchez? Yeah, okay, he came on, he played well last time he came on, won a few headers against Burnley and that, but judging by what I've seen against NS Mora, I'd be more worried about Sanchez up against Cornier if he gets a run at him. Let alone Chris Wood, my man. So I don't know what we're going to do tomorrow there. It's going to be a tough one.
That's why I have Tanganga in for this one. I have Tanganga in. I think he'll go with Tanganga again. I feel like he has to. Tanganga, I feel like is actually a bit underrated in the air because he, for someone who's not very tall, he actually really does rise above his defenders, and he likes also the physical battles as well, Tanganga. So maybe someone like Chris Wood, might be a bit of an interesting sort of, war between those two. Kuva99 saying with Romero missing, I think all of their attackers will get Wood in the box. We got sick minds tonight, Kuva. You got sick minds tonight, my man. But, just to take this a bit more serious on the more serious approach, Kuva, they definitely will. Just like I said, Chris Wood, he'll get that knockdown to whatever player, is around him. He then will just absolutely just haul ass into the box and be waiting for that beautiful cross from someone like Dwight McNeil or a Goodmanson or a Charlie Taylor or a Matt Lowton or basically anybody, even they'll cross it from any position in the pitch. It doesn't need to be from the byline, doesn't need to be from the sidelines. They will cross it from any position into his head and he will do something with it. He always does something with it. He always creates something, from it. And basically we also need to win. I think what's important with Chris Wood, need to win that second ball because he will probably win that first header. It's all about winning that second ball after he heads it. He doesn't have to knock it into the, into the goal every time. He'll knock it down to someone else. He'll just create a bit of chaos and we need to be totally switched on because what will happen is Chris Wood at the end of the day, he'll win the majority of the headers that are given to him. And then it's just all about winning that second ball and just clearing your lines. So Kuva, I'm going to take my mind out of the gutter with you and I'm going to answer it a bit more seriously, but big yourself up, my man.
No, big up, Kuva. You're a sick man. You're a sick man, Kuva, but I love it. Big yourself up. My type of humor, lad.
True Sets 3 says expectations with the poor side equals disappointment. Often can be the case, but I feel like this is, a team that, is quite easy to figure out. This is a team that is quite easy to read. Doesn't take a genius, I would say, to figure out how Burnley play. And all you have to do is just kind of win more of the physical battles with them. You have to be able to be switched on so that they don't take advantage of you when you are a bit asleep, maybe on that second ball. Like I said, maybe that's something I should emphasize maybe a lot in this stream today. It's all about winning those second balls. It's all about being able to get those ball recoveries in. It's all about basically having someone around, Chris Wood, around the Cornets of the world so that no one is isolated because they do basically rely on one or two players to get their goals. It doesn't come from many other people. Also, even as well, Ben Mee is probably a threat as well from set pieces as well. That guy, honestly, he'll basically climb over 4 or 5 players to win that header. He's absolutely hungry all the time to get a header. So I would say, everybody, it's all about winning those second balls for sure. Tottenham Tantrum Gold, good to see you. Tottenham Tantrum, good to see you. My man Dermot, he says we will win tomorrow. I am fully confident that we will. I will be fully up for tomorrow. Kane will get 1. Sonny and Reggie a 3-0 win. Come on, you Harris Army. Come on, you Flat Cup Army. Come on, you Spurs. Big up, Dermot. Absolutely loving the energy as always. He always gives us the energy. He should honestly be, a bit of a, if David, anything were to happen to David for the pre-match pump up, I know somebody that would absolutely be the next best person in line. And that would be Dermot. Something must be in the water over there, I would say, in Ireland, because honestly, it's the most positive bunch in the world. It's the most positive bunch in the world, the most optimistic, the opposite of, kind of, down in the dumps, kind of people. They just seem to always be, willing to take a punch, from Spurs and then be able to rise up the next day and think that they're going to win again. It's the right kind of attitude. It's the right kind of energy. And honestly, it's very welcomed here. Big yourself up, Dermot.
Big up, Dermot. What a legend. What a legend, Dermot. Never let that optimism die, my man. Never, ever let it die. Like Jack says, if you ever need a new man for the pre-match pump-up, you definitely have to throw your hat in the ring, my man. And everyone do get over and check out Tottenham Tantrum Gold. For all you guys who like some of them older games, he's doing an absolutely good job over there. So do get over and check it out. But Jacko, let's keep cracking on, my man.
Moving on to the next one here, it is going to be a Chris Wood knockdown to Cornet. And this is definitely something that we've seen a lot from this season. It is, again, emphasizing that second ball. It is emphasizing that when Chris Wood does win that header, he is going to be trying to flick it on to someone like Cornet, who's honestly been a lethal finisher this season. I believe he has an XG of something like 1.7, and yet I believe he scored 4 or 5 goals so far in the Premier League this season, which just shows that the guy has been a very lethal finisher. He finishes it with power as well. So I would actually say that, be very wary of this goal. This might be one of the most likely ones. This is definitely one where, again, from open play, again, it's another long ball up to Chris Wood. Chris Wood knocks it down to Cornet. Cornet basically just takes it, deep into our own half, basically just runs for the races and just absolutely smashes it. This is something that we've already seen a few times from Cornet this season. He kind of just has picked up some of these kind of scrappy loose balls and has just made the most of it actually this season. I would say he's actually been a great signing for them just because he finishes the chances that he's given. And that's kind of what Burnley basically need when you think about it, because they don't really create too many chances. They kind of do rely on somebody taking that chance when it's given to them on a plate. And he basically has taken them this season. So Chris Wood knocked down to Cornet in behind, and basically Cornet just smashes it. And yeah, I believe he's also left-footed. So just be very wary of the left foot of his, because he does hit it with a lot of power as well. Hopefully, Kuva, I haven't let the score run up too much. It isn't going to be too much of a basketball score this time when doing the animations. But like I said, basically, everybody, it is going to be route one approach from Burnley the whole match. It's just going to be up to Chris Wood, knocking it down to the rest of his players, and the rest of his players will try to do the most of it. So not too surprising, and also not too tactful when you think about it. It is just kind of how Sean Dyche runs his teams, everybody. But I believe that is going to be the end of the animations for this one. So we are going to move on to how do Burnley defend. And how do Burnley defend, everybody? It's very much a very kind of stuck in 4-4-2, a very deep lying sort of 4-4-2, which is actually probably, you would argue, a very underrated defensive formation when I think about it, especially in the case, of Burnley, where they play a very effective deep lying 4-4-2. The 4-4-2, it makes it very difficult to play through the middle for teams. I think a great example recently, apart from Burnley, that we've seen was actually Hungary. Hungary, what we saw in the Euros, they played a very effective 4-4-2. The 4-4-2, what it kind of does well is it forces you to play out wide. It actually, funny enough, it makes it very hard to play through the middle when you actually play a very narrow 4-4-2. It makes it really hard to play through the middle against teams. And so what you actually have to do is you have to play it out wide. But since you already do have players out wide as well, you don't have too much time on the ball out wide. When done successfully, when organized very well. We've seen it with Rafa Benitez before. We've seen it with Sean Dyche. We saw it over the Euros with Hungary. A 4-4-2 can be a very effective way of being a very kind of just staunch, very frustrating, kind of pragmatic sort of defensive style. I would say what needs to happen in order for us to basically take advantage of it, you can see through these green arrows, you need to see Sonny and Lucas pick up kind of these spaces in between the midfield and in between the back four. You either make the back four come and chase them, which basically would make it so that someone else would be open, or you make it very difficult for those midfielders, to pick up somebody. So you want Lucas and Sonny to be picking up these spaces in between the midfield and the back four. That way, when they pick the ball, they can turn, or, you give little 1-2s to somebody, and then they can kind of go from there. You just need to find these little pockets of space in between the midfield and the back four. I feel like that is kind of the best way to attack a 4-4-2. Reguilon and Emerson will definitely find it difficult this match, because there basically will be 2 or 3 people marking them at all times. So I will feel like in other matches when maybe Emerson and Reguilon will have tons of space, it's hard to say whether this would be the case. I feel like at the back post, when we see at the back post, they will probably have lots of space. But apart from that, when they're kind of building up play, they'll have someone like a McNeil and a Goodmanson, kind of going on them, as well as a Lowton or a Taylor as well. So it just feels like, this isn't the best sort of game for Emerson and Reguilon, but they will need to be able to have those sort of inside passes, into these pockets of space to the likes of Lucas and Sonny. They really need to have their vision up for tomorrow. And this is what I would say is the 4-4-2, when done right, is a very effective defensive formation, everybody. So that's probably one of my lessons when it comes to Burnley. So we are going to move now on to maybe how Spurs can win this game. But first, David, yes, sir.
Yeah. No, go on. You were about to do what I was going to say.
Yeah, we are going to move on, everybody, to how Spurs can win this game. But it is something that we do want to mention. This episode of the Irish Hotspur, this episode of Stats with Jack, is going to be brought to you by Manscaped. Manscaped have been very generous to have sponsored us this past month. We are going to be bringing you our promotional video for Manscaped. Everybody, it is that holiday season. It is that time to use the Manscaped code, because they do have plenty of deals going on. Use the code FLATCAP to get 20% off here. And David, I'm going to air the video.
Yep.
This episode of the Irish Hotspur is brought to you by Manscaped, the champion of the world in below-the-waist grooming. Thank you very much, Manscaped, for giving us the full performance package this holiday season.
Ladies and gentlemen of the Flat Cap Army, the holiday season is fast approaching. So many of you out there have enjoyed Manscaped's products, and they want to help you reload this Christmas with a 20% discount.
David, what's the most disappointing gift you've received on Christmas morning?
Well, Jack, it has to be that boring knitted sweater I got last time when all I was wishing for is Manscaped's Performance Package 4.0.
That Performance Package 4.0 is the perfect hygiene bundle that includes the Lawnmower 4.0, the Weed Whacker, a comfortable pair of boxers, and Manscaped's specially scented hygiene liquids. And it all comes, everybody, in a nifty travel kit to put all those Manscaped goodies inside.
Wow, that's a 5-star playmaking hygiene package, Jack. But how can I impress my Mrs. Claus this season?
This upcoming Christmas, why not freshen yourself up for that romantic evening with Mrs. Claus by the fire with Manscaped's Crop Mop Ball Wipes, their Nail Care Package 2.0, a body wash, and their 2-in-1 shampoo and conditioner. But where else can the Manscaped help the Flat Cap Army smell good, David?
Well, Jack, it's not just your hanging ornaments that need to smell fresh. We all know the top of the tree needs to smell just as good as the trunk. So why not treat yourself with Manscaped's refined cologne and improve your chances with Mrs. Claus?
Get 20% off with free shipping and use the code FLATCAP at manscaped.com. That's 20% off with free shipping at manscaped.com and use the code FLATCAP. It's time to join the Manscaped movement. Your balls will thank you. There you are, everybody. This episode is brought to you by Manscaped. We are very thankful because Manscaped has even been so kind to have given us some of their products, and we have enjoyed them a bit too much, I must say. But it is that time of the year, everybody, where you do have to be looking nice and good for Mrs. Claus. It is maybe that time to maybe invest a little bit in yourself, invest in your own kind of, ability to kind of take care of, maybe the down under, I might say, time to be able to kind of, freshen things up for maybe the people that might be seeing you these upcoming holidays. But everybody, there's lots of things that you can grab over there. Just use the code FLATCAP. Like I said, we are very thankful for what they have given us. We're very thankful for them sponsoring this one. But David, anything you might say about the products that you've enjoyed?
No, look, it's absolutely beautiful. The cologne, honestly, since I've started using it, Jack, the missus can't stay away from me. I had to ask her for just a couple of hours just so I could do this evening, But no, look, guys, long winter evening ends. It's going to start snowing shortly. It's absolutely freezing. We all know what happens when it gets cold down there. You want to make it look a bit bigger. All you got to do is take an inch or two off the bush, you know what I mean? And then you get that bit of extra length. It's a great help. But guys, Manscaped, they're helping you. So many of you have used the products, have used the code. Make sure you get on there and get a reload this Christmas.
Yep. And everybody, if you're thinking about that gift, maybe last minute for a friend or maybe for a partner of yours, that special someone in your life, definitely do it, especially ladies as well. I know definitely a few men would definitely enjoy it out there, so don't overlook, the Manscaped. And please, to support us as well, use that code FLATCAP. It is greatly appreciated. But back to the show, everybody, back to maybe talking about Spurs and, maybe the ways we can best go about beating Burnley now. This is going to be the Tottenham predicted lineup, everybody. We do have Lloris in goal. We have Eric Dyer, Tanganga I'm going with this time, and then Ben Davies, is unfortunately still going to be playing. Emerson outright, Reguilon, and I can't bear it. I just don't want to do it. I'm not going to ever, motivate myself or, find a way to rationalize, putting Harry Winks in the lineup. I just can't do it. So it is going to be Skippy and Højbjerg in there, and then Lucas, Harry Kane, and Sonny up top. There you are, everybody. That's going to be my predicted lineup for this one. That's what I'm going to be working with. Hopefully you agree. If you were to have someone else in this lineup, do let me know. But I feel like, especially with that atrocious performance we saw from Sanchez, probably be nice to see Tanganga maybe instead, alongside maybe Eric Dyer and Ben Davies. And I will say, though, with Ben Davies, somebody who I definitely have ripped into multiple times, someone who I did think was actually, more than useless. In fact, I actually at one point said about him that the word useless is more useful than Ben Davies. But I feel like he hasn't put too much of a foot wrong, actually going into it so far. He actually hasn't made too many mistakes. He's actually kind of more or less, I wouldn't say he's proving me wrong, but I feel like he is, he's outdoing himself actually so far. Hopefully he can continue that. Hopefully he can. It's really hard to say that he will, but hopefully he can. We are going to move on now to our key player, though, which is going to be Sonny. As it always is, Sonny has the most shot creating actions, which is, like I said, a very fancy way of just saying chances created. The most key passes with 18, the most goals with 4 in the Premier League, the most shots with 26, the most progressive passes received, which is a pass of 10 yards or more. Remember, Chris Wood, I believe, has received 66 or something like that progressive passes this season. where Sonny has actually received 84, which actually really does show that we do use Sonny for that out ball. We do use Sonny for that guy that, picks the ball up in maybe kind of the higher spaces of the pitch. And, basically he's more or less been that out ball for us so far this season with 84 progressive passes received. The most carries into the penalty area with 12, which is one of my favorite stats. Someone that is not afraid of carrying the ball into the box. Most touches in the attacking penalty area with 48. So there you are, everybody, as always is, until basically it goes away, until maybe Harry Kane maybe does something to maybe kind of take away, Sonny's key player status. I would love to see that happen. I'd love to see someone else, take this throne away from Sonny, but it is going to continue to be Sonny as our key player for this one. But we are going to go to Kuva99, who's saying we can certainly see where all the super chat money is being spent. You could show that quality or advert at halftime during the Super Bowl. Really appreciate that, Kuva. And again, we're probably going to make another one, closer to holidays. But like I said, Cyber Monday is coming up. Black Friday is coming. Black Friday just happened, but I'm pretty sure it extends through the whole weekend. Yeah, Cyber Monday coming up, everybody. So with Manscaped, you can get that 20% off code. I'm pretty sure they have a few other deals as well. Basically, there's no better time to invest in the Manscaped hygiene product. And as well, it is kind of the hygiene season. You are going to be spending a bit more times indoors with Mrs. Claus, with that special someone in your life. So you might as well just invest in the whole hygiene package via Manscaped. Definitely Akuva99, really appreciate it. Also, the last advert we made was a bit longer. This one we made a bit shorter for you guys, so maybe it can be a bit more kind of informative than maybe the last one. Hopefully you enjoyed it, like Kuva said. Really appreciate that, though, Kuva. Really appreciate that, my man.
Big up, Kuva. I know Kuva definitely has a set of Manscaped at home. Don't deny it, Kuva. Big yourself up, my man.
Our unsung hero for this one is going to be Pierre-Emile Højbjerg. And this one I've actually kind of looked forward to. I think he's been, at times past unsung hero. I think last time we did Lucas, the time before that we did Emerson. And so this time it is going to be the unsung hero with Højbjerg. I think he needs a little bit of respect on his name, because at the end of the day, he's by no means the best midfielder in the world. He has his faults. He has his, kind of his weaknesses. But, he is basically Mr. Reliable when it comes to the midfield. We're asking him, especially when he was playing alongside Harry Winks, somehow he was able to get the win with Harry Winks playing alongside him, which is like playing with a hand and leg, tied behind your back. I would say Pierre-Emile Højbjerg needs a bit more respect put on his name. I really do feel like he does. And maybe the stats might prove it right here. He is the second most tackles and interceptions combined in the entire squad with 61. He has the most successful pressures with 75, which is, again, a fantastic stat. So nobody is better at pressuring the ball and actually winning the ball than Pierre-Emile Højbjerg. He has the most dribblers tackled with 14. The guy just gets stuck in more than anyone else in the pitch. He has the most blocks with 23, which is also quite impressive, because usually center backs are the ones that actually have a lot of blocks. The most switches of play with 19. The guy still is able to ping it better than anyone else in the pitch. Most passes into the final third with 63. So again, everybody, with Højbjerg this season, we've been asking him to carry the ball forward. We've been asking him to get stuck. We've been asking him to be able to ping the ball left and right. We're basically just asking him to be more or less like Glenn Hoddle and like Patrick Vieira combined. We're asking him to basically be everything. And I feel like Højbjerg, when he doesn't have his best sort of game, the reason he's not having his best sort of game sometimes is because we're asking him to do everything in the pitch. And that's sometimes a bit unfair to the guy. So might as well put a bit of respect on his name. He is trying his best out there. And again, most passes into the final third, most progressive passes, second most goals, which is very depressing with 2 so far this season in the Premier League. Most passes made under pressure, which is Kuva99's favorite stat. I'm pretty sure that is when someone's pulling on your shorts. That's when someone's pulling on your kit. Somebody's, absolutely hauling you, absolutely molesting you on the pitch. And he's still able to find a way to, complete the pass. And he has the third most players dribble pass with 16 as well. So he's also skinned the third most players in the entire squad as well, which is also very impressive. That's more players than, Reguilon. That's more players than Ndombele. That's more players than Harry Kane. That, it's, I believe, Sonny and Lucas are the ones with the most players dribble pass. And then it's Pierre-Emile Højbjerg. So respect to Højbjerg. Respect to Højbjerg.
Sorry, Jack. Some of these comments, some of these guys are cracking me up, man. They're crazy. They're a crazy bunch. Big up,
David also, who's I believe enjoying, a bit of a drive, I think, around Seattle this time with, some stats with Jack saying, great stats, Jack. Sonny boy needs to step up tomorrow. He's due for a big game. Let's rip them apart. No, listen, Sonny is, I think, their bogeyman, David. I really think he is their bogeyman. Going back to Sonny again, he still has the most chances created for us. I believe he has second most players dribble pass. He has the most shots on target. He has the most shots. He is our danger man. Sonny has always been our danger man, and we need him to prove that to us yet again tomorrow. He's done it thousands of times, but we need him to show up tomorrow. Like we need other players to show up for us. We need a Lucas to show up. We need a Harry Kane to show up. We need a Reguilon to show up, but we need that Sonny to be kind of firing tomorrow, because I feel like, a bit recently as well, we just a lot of our strikers, and this includes Sonny, have been kind of missing some big chances as well. They have been missing some big chances. So we need them to be a bit ruthless, a bit more lethal. But I will expect Sonny to get that goal tomorrow, David. I really want him to get that goal. I want him to score an absolute worldie tomorrow. But big up, David. Hopefully you're enjoying your drive around this old nice rainy day in Seattle. Hopefully you got that nice coffee, maybe a bit later around 4 or 5 o'clock. Enjoy some of the nice, beers that we have around as well. So hopefully, David, you've been enjoying your vacation over here, my man. Really appreciate. Also met up with him as well. Absolute legend. Like I said, he's an absolute monster as well in terms of his height. The man just made me feel tiny with how tall he was. Seriously. So big yourself up, David, as well. Hopefully you're enjoying yourself, my man.
Big up, Dave. And what I will just say, what I will add to that quickly is Nathan Collins is stepping in, if I'm correct. And he's Irish and he's crap. So, oh no, it's not Nathan. No. I'm thinking along. Sorry. No, Collins. Collins is okay, but, he's stepping in. Son should get a couple of runs at him or even off him and should do the job tomorrow, so be interesting. But he's an Irishman.
It is Collins. So, it is Collins, I believe, will be stepping in tomorrow.
Yeah,
You're right,
Nathan Collins. Yeah, Nathan Collins. So, so it'll be very interesting. Look, he's stepping in. Hopefully, Son, even Harry Kane could get a run at them. Look, Kane has some good stats against Burnley as well. So hopefully, look, Dave, I just want to see the two of them get going again. Because once the two of them get going again, we're winning games. It's that simple.
Yeah, big yourself up, David. And also shout out to Michelle as well. You know who she is, David. Big yourself up. Honestly, they're an absolute joy to meet up with. Absolute legends of the Harris Army. And it's very, very nice of him to meet up with me. We had a nice little chat, everything regarding Spurs, just regarding life in general. Got to know somebody of the Harris Army a bit better. So anytime any of you guys, are around New York or Seattle, feel free to hit me up, because I'd be happy to be able to meet up with you guys and get to know you all a bit better. But big yourself up, David. Absolute legend. Absolute legend you are.
And the same as well, if anyone's down in and around the Kildare region, again, hit me up. You know what I mean? And same thing, I've already met up with a couple as well, just like Jack. If you're ever down, do hit us up. We'll go for coffee or whatever it is. And we'll just chill out and have a chat. Big up,
David. How do Tottenham attack? We are going to go into maybe a bit of the animations now into how do Spurs attack. So Kuva, this is the time when we start catching up in that basketball score, against against the Clarets. But we do have the first one, and this is something I'm starting to notice is Lucas slipping Harry Kane through. The reason I have this one is because Lucas, he's blowing off Harry Kane lots of times. But the point is that when Lucas does pick up the ball and he does, kind of carry the ball into the middle of the pitch, he finds a way to, be able to slip Harry Kane through. There are lots of times when he just has his head down, he has his head glued to the floor, and he doesn't see Harry Kane in front of him. But then when we did see against Mura, he was able to slip Harry Kane through. Harry Kane had that delightful little chip into the back of the net. We've seen it in other times as well, where Harry Kane, is actually looking for that slip through ball from Lucas. All Lucas needs to do is just pick his head up and find Harry Kane. The reason I have this as an animation again is because I've seen this available to Lucas lots of times. I see Harry Kane sitting on the last man's shoulder, waiting for this slip through ball. And we just need Lucas to pick his head up for once and actually find Harry Kane, be able to play him through. So for this one, it is going to be Lucas basically finding a bit of space, a bit of one-touch passing here as well, actually, where Lucas just takes the ball in, skins a few men, and basically just finds Harry Kane in for the back of the net. Again, it's a bit of one-touch passing, a bit of kind of quick play. Højbjerg kind of showing into the middle, kind of being an option. Lucas basically just pulls his head down like he always does, tries to dribble, into kind of the blind alley that he sometimes does. But lots of times when he gets, through that blind alley, kind of finds his way out of it, which I will say just speaks to his almost, real dribbling prowess. But in this situation, I do have it where he's able to actually find Harry Kane, who's basically just absolutely pleading for this ball. I almost tried to make it look like, Harry Kane could have been slipped in through a bit earlier, but maybe, again, just trying to keep it realistic so that, when Lucas does pick his head up, Harry Kane is still available for him to slip it through. Again, Lucas slip through ball, where Lucas just dribbles into the middle of the pitch. He loves to cut inside. He loves to be able to move into the middle and find players. He loves to play in the tight areas. He loves to play in the tight spaces, find a bit of a 1-2, find somebody that's making a run for him. And he loves to also make runs off of other players as well. So again, a slip through ball for Harry Kane. and Lucas playing very well in the tight spaces here.
Truth sets you free here. He says, is Mora going to play with text neck tomorrow?
I don't even know what that means. Oh, man. Oh, yeah, the text neck. Yeah, he's always putting his head down. He's always putting his head down. Yeah, absolutely. Truth sets free. I mean, I really don't think he probably will at certain moments. This is the thing Lucas does just at the end of the day. He does just put his head down, and just doesn't see anything in front of him. He just seems to be so focused on skinning man after man after man. The guy honestly just loves taking on 5 or 6 players at once. It works out for him at times, and then it doesn't work out for him at other times. And it is a bit frustrating because when it doesn't work out for him, you see the easy, obvious through ball where he's just making it too hard on himself at times. But I would say with Lucas, hopefully tomorrow he doesn't have that text neck tomorrow. He finds that slip through ball into Harry Kane's feet. And this is the reason why I put that up there, is because there's so many times when Harry Kane is just asking for the ball for Lucas. Lucas does all the hard work by dribbling by 3-4 guys. And then he still just keeps his head down when all he has to do is just pick his head up and he will find somebody in behind for him. Seriously, Lucas, I just need you to pick your head up tomorrow and you will find somebody. Feel free to skin 3 or 4 men. Feel free to skin 3 or 4 men, Lucas, like you always do. Just after you're done doing that, pick your head up, my man, and you will find options in front of you.
No, well said, Jacko. Absolutely well said. I couldn't add anything to that you haven't already said, to be fair. That's brilliant.
We're going to go to Sonny Worldy. And the reason I'm doing this one is because Sonny did get that Puskas winner against Burnley last time when he played against them. So this time it's not going to be as much of a 90-yard run. Seems a bit crazy to do that, but I do have him basically going for a shot outside the box. Sonny, he's taken more shots than anyone else in this team. I do want him to be able to start shooting it from outside the box more, kind of go for more of those kind of curlers like he did against the Scum. And this is basically what I have here from Sonny. Sonny can score any type of goal at the end of the day. It's actually quite fun to do this with Sonny because he basically can do anything out there. I have Region actually a bit interestingly, also trying to kind of create something for himself. Region kind of skins his man, kind of slips through, kind of a bit of a press here from Goodmanson and Cornet, slips through them right there, then basically finds Sonny. Sonny, instead of passing it to Region, he basically sizes up Collins here, takes Collins on for nothing, and then tries to curl one in the back of the net into the upper V's right there again. Sonny, he's fully capable of worldies. He's fully capable of creating a goal for himself. Sonny, or Lucas and Kane are kind of making runs, to create space for Sonny. Sonny basically cuts inside on the top of the 18 and curls one into the back of the net. I think what's very important here is you do need someone like Region in this scenario to kind of open up space for Sonny, because with that 4-4-2 again, it's a very, very negative kind of formation the way that Burnley do play it. So you do need somebody to kind of be brave enough to kind of dribble past 1 or 2 players and then open up space for someone else. That can easily be Lucas. That could also be Region. So hopefully in this case, it's Region creating a bit of space for Sonny here. And then Sonny basically just does the rest by basically, skinning his man Collins here and just bending one past Nick Pope.
Do you know what, Jack? I was just watching it there. I have to say, right, anyone that says Jack doesn't put any sort of level of detail into this is just shoot them down straight away if they ever say it, because look at the way he slows Sonny down here like he would, like Son does when he goes to cut inside. I absolutely love it, Jack. It's been cracking me up the last
Sizing
minute.
up his man.
It's class. It's quality. The way you just slow it down for him to cut inside is brilliant.
It just kind of, getting a bit better at it every time we do it. We are getting a bit better at it every time we do it, but definitely, Dave, I'm actually glad that you did notice that. The truth sets free. The truth sets free. Kuba, I'm just going to let this run so, the score can start tallying up here so it can come about 48-12 at the end of this math. Truth sets free says, Kuba said after the Mira FC game, he didn't know if our players were going to put their kits in their bag and bring it home for their mom to wash. I mean, this is the problem, though, Truth, is that we kind of do treat these players like as if they're not even grown-ass men when you think about it. Like, we've actually said this about Steven Bergwijn at times past, where it's like, oh, he's coming from a new country, his washing machine broke, he needs his family with him in order to play well, and all these sort of, jab. And it's really, I just don't even get it, because seriously, like, these guys are grown men. They have all the ability in the world, to have a good game. They're absolutely coddled by the fans. They're coddled by the club. They're paid all the big bucks to basically not have to worry about a single thing in life apart from football. And yet they still find a way to somehow, find other things to, basically distract themselves, find other ways to basically not be decent footballers and not actually put in their full effort. So seriously, I'm probably not surprised if, half of these players don't even do their own laundry. I really wouldn't be. I really bet like even, they already have their laundry done for them by the kit man. And then I mean, they probably even take it a step further and probably have someone do their own laundry when they get home for their other clothes and whatnot. So I wouldn't be that surprised, Truth. I really wouldn't be.
Yeah. No, I really wouldn't be either. Truth sets you free. Look, they're just a bunch of overgrown man babies. You know what I mean? In fact, what they should be doing is put them in a baby outfit with a bib and everything, you know what I mean, and send them out. That's what I would do for a warm-up one day if they keep going. I honestly would start doing things like that because at the end of the day, they're very quick to throw managers under the bus. So, if I was manager and I knew I was like, for instance, if I was Nuno and I knew going out against United they weren't going to put in a performance, I would have done something like that, just to show them up because they deserve it. They deserve it. Too many of them keep crying all the time. The Botan Duta says add an extra midfielder and go with 2 up front. Jack, what's your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, if you haven't seen that episode, we did basically do, a breakdown of all of Conte's tactics where we kind of went through 3 different formations that he could go through. We used this, kind of same program that we're using right now, where he did basically similar, which we're doing similar animations and whatnot. We did a 3-4-1-2. We did the 3-4-3, which we're very used to. And then as well, we also did the 3-5-2. With the 3-5-2, I think that's actually the best way to go about it. The problem with the 3-5-2 at the moment actually is that do we really have a reliable third midfielder? No. We would have to basically risk it with Gio Lo Celso or Tanguy and Ndombele. There's no use in even bringing up Dele Alli anymore when it comes to it. There really isn't. The guy does not know how to create anything. He really doesn't. I mean, you could put a piece of paper and a marker in front of him, and he still wouldn't create anything. He really wouldn't. So, I mean, genuinely, like I just feel like you have to have Tanguy and Gio in that 3-5-2 or that 3-4-1-2, but you're then still taking a huge risk because then you're basically relying on Sonny and Harry Kane to do all the legwork up top. I feel like it's a great way to go about it, to bottom Duda, but I feel like you can't. It's just tough. We just don't have that Kessie yet. We don't have that Weston McKennie. We don't have that Brozovic. We don't have that Bruno Guimaraes to basically complete this midfield. We don't have that creative midfielder, that creative box-to-box midfielder. We don't have a Metsala in this team. So to go with the 3-5-2 is a bit of a risk because then you're just asking Gio Lo Celso and Tanguy and Ndombele to have consistent performances, which we have yet to receive. So it's a bit of a risk, but at the same time, it's something that I would actually prefer we do instead of the 3-4-3. It is something I prefer we do, but it is taking more of a risk. We have to be kind of realistic with what we have at the moment. But that's a great comment, my man. Great comment.
No, big up. He definitely knows his tactics anyway, Jack.
Certainly does. Certainly. And like I said, if you haven't seen that episode, my man, please check out the Conte Tactics Explained. I think that's what it even was titled as well. Basically broke down all of the possible formations that, Antonio Conte has used in the past. And we basically use that as sort of like as a marker for how we can best, basically, understand what, sort of formations, what sort of tactics that Antonio Conte likes to use and how he can best, get the most out of this team. So certainly check out that episode if you haven't already. Paranormal Yido saying, Jack, what's the program called? Love my Manscaped. Mrs. says I look good now, but she feels no different. Unfortunately, we can't release it to you, Paranormal. We can't release it to you. It is something that David and I did pay for, though. It is something that we have paid for. Definitely took something out of the piggy banks for this one. And also, it is something that I did have to learn, all on my own. It took a long time to be able to figure it out as well. So we don't just give it up for free to anybody, but you can find it yourself. It is out there. Believe me, my man, it is out there. But I will say, I'm glad you like I'm glad you like the Manscaped. Hopefully the missus buys yourself, a bit of that Manscaped using that code FLATCAP, my man. And he says, Mrs. says, I look good now, but she feels no different. No, she will feel different. She will feel different, my man. She will feel different. You certainly will. But big yourself up, Paranormal,
You're doing it all wrong, Paranormal. Look, if you think, when this camera's off, that I sit here with clothes on and the flat cap, you're mistaken, man. Just go around with just the flat cap. That's where you're going wrong, Paranormal. She's definitely changed the way she's feeling then, my man. Big yourself up.
Just get the Manscaped package and the flat cap package. That's all you need to make the perfect man. That's all you need to make the perfect man. Harry Kane through ball is going to be the next one, everybody. The last little animation here is going to be a Harry Kane through ball, and it is going to be a Harry Kane through ball, which we have actually saw a ton of in that Leeds United match. And I will say again, everybody, to say that Harry Kane had a poor match, I think is taking it too far. He needed to bury that one chance that he had. But if anybody, is watching that match, you cannot have missed the hold up play and the through balls and the the development of play that he had against Leeds. He really was excellent at holding up the ball and being able to find his teammates. He was excellent at being able to create from nothing, really. We just kept, launching it up to him. He would chest it down, bring it down, and find the likes of Lucas. He would find the likes of Reguilon. He would find the likes of Sonny, also on the wings. He really had a fantastic match in terms of hold-up play. He could have definitely done a lot better in the finishing department, but hopefully we might see that, improve over time. But at the end of the day, this is something that I feel like is very realistic. It is a Harry Kane through ball, and it is going to be Harry Kane basically holding up play as we know he does. Højbjerg doing a little bit of kind of one-touch football in between all these guys. Lucas finds Harry Kane here, and then Harry Kane does that first-time through ball that we all know he's fully capable of. And I know David has seen this through ball that he plays 1,000 times, where he doesn't wait a second. He doesn't even wait to, have a touch. He does this little 1-2 with Lucas, and he plays that slip-through ball into the middle, through the channels, through the lanes, in between the lines for Lucas, and then Lucas squares it to Sonny at the back post. Of all the goals that I think we've shown today, this is probably the best one. I would probably argue an absolutely silky goal to be able to go through, and it is against Sonny just waiting at the back post for Lucas to square that ball again. Another scenario where Lucas just needs to pick his head up, I will say, when he receives the ball as well. But it is a bit of one-touch football, which we also have been used to now under Antonio Conte. We've seen a lot of one-touch football in this system with Antonio Conte. So hopefully we can find, this sort of goal in some sort of fashion tomorrow. I think it's a beautiful goal. I think it's not unrealistic at all. It is Harry Kane basically drawing out his defenders, drawing out Ben Mee, and then Lucas takes advantage of that and basically just takes Charlie Taylor for dead in terms of the pace department, and then just finds Sonny at the back post.
No, look, Jack, we've seen this true ball time and time again by Harry. I think Newcastle, we've seen him do one for Sonny just like that, where he's played in, put a ball across, and Sonny ran in. So, yeah, no, looks, I expect a good game out of Harry Kane tomorrow. I have some very good stats on him against Burnley for tomorrow's preview. So, be very, very interesting to see what he can come up with.
Definitely.
I do think he might be back with a bang tomorrow.
And everybody, I will say, his hold-up play against Leeds, I thought was actually quite exceptional. I think he could have done a few other things, in terms of his, kind of play a bit better. But in terms of, what we're seeing right now, we actually saw him basically doing this all match against Leeds, exactly what we're seeing right here. So I don't expect it not to be any different against Burnley. Especially, we do need someone to be able to, Adam says, looks offside. Did look a bit offsides, actually, when I think about it, for Sonny at the back post. That's on Sonny, though. That's not on me yet. That's on Sonny. But I will say, everybody, this is a through ball that is definitely not unrealistic. And I feel like we've seen it 1,000 times from Harry Kane. We definitely have seen it 1,000 times. So hopefully we can see it tomorrow. Hopefully we can see Harry Kane being able to find his teammates. Hopefully Harry Kane also grabs a goal as well.
No, hopefully, look, we need all three of the front line to come to the fore tomorrow, Jack. All three of them, Lucas, Kane, and Son. Haven't really done much over the last few games in terms of goals and assists. Need all three of them to come.
There we are. Players to target, everybody. Their right back, Matt Lowton, I would say is certainly someone that we should probably target. Jack Cork, who is coming into the midfield, who is going to be replacing, remind me again, is it Woodhill, Dave? What's again? Woodhill?
No. Oh, what's his name? Westwood.
Sorry, everybody. Again, kind of lacking in the Burnley department in terms of knowledge. Westwood is somebody that will be missing tomorrow, along with James Tarkowski. Will also be missing. James Tarkowski is kind of their best player when it comes to defending wise. So that will be actually a good thing to see. And then also Charlie Taylor will also be someone that we should probably take advantage of. With Charlie Taylor, the reason I feel like we should take advantage of him is because Lucas will be playing on his side. And Lucas, I feel like he actually has skinned more players than most people in the Premier League so far this season. Lucas has actually been one of the top dribblers in the entire Premier League this season. So against someone like a Charlie Taylor, I actually see him having a pretty decent match, because Charlie Taylor will have to probably step out, and he probably will miss lots of times. And Lucas might just kind of take him for dead, and will probably just dribble right by him and then lose his man. And then Charlie Taylor doesn't really have the recovery pace or anything to get by him. As well as you probably could see Charlie Taylor, again, especially against Lucas, kind of pick up an early yellow as well. I will say it's be very nice to see a referee actually show us some respect in terms of, sometimes some of the challenges that we receive from players. But I would like to see Lucas, get Charlie Taylor an early yellow. And then from there, you have Emerson and Lucas going at him all match. And then that will probably be a nice recipe for disaster for the Burnley defense. So Charlie Taylor at left back is someone we should take advantage of. Jack Cork is coming into the midfield in a 4-4-2 midfield, a two-man midfield. Hopefully we can take advantage of him. And then their right back, Matt Lowton, because we will have Reguilon and Sonny. The most creative side for Tottenham so far this season has been our left-hand side. So Matt Lowton will certainly be able to find a bit of trouble against Sonny and Reguilon, everybody. So that is, again, something that must be emphasized. Our left-hand side has been our most creative side so far this season. So hopefully, the two fullbacks of Burnley will have a lot of trouble coming up against us.
Yeah, no, look, you look at all three players there. We should be exposing them with ease, to be honest with you.
Yeah, we really should be, definitely, David. And so we are going to go into the key battles now. And the key battles, mentioned it before, Chris Wood against Ben Davies and Eric Dyer. The reason why is because these guys will have to actually have some aerial duels against them. They will have to be able to, kind of win the physical battle against Chris Wood. I don't think anybody really wins the physical battle against Chris Wood. You just have to kind of do your best. You have to win the second balls. You have to make life difficult for him. So hopefully we will find that. But definitely Chris Wood against Eric Dyer and Ben Davies is certainly going to be a huge key battle, if not the most important key battle, if you ask me. I think it's the most important one come tomorrow. The other one is going to be between Emerson and Dwight Mcneil. Emerson is going to be coming up against their most creative player in Dwight Mcneil. Dwight Mcneil is basically kind of he's always been for Burnley kind of the pass to the goal. He's always been the guy who crosses it in for kind of a goal for Chris Wood. He's the guy that is their most creative player. He also has the most players dribbled past by some significant margin. Dwight Mcneil does. So Emerson is going to actually have, something, to deal with tomorrow on that right-hand side. So Emerson is going to have a huge key battle coming up against Dwight Mcneil, everybody. And Dwight Mcneil, I will say, is somebody who I feel like is a bit craftier, is a bit more clever than maybe people give him credit for. He doesn't really need the pace. He doesn't really need the speed or anything, but he is quite, clever in kind of the tight areas. So Emerson will have to be getting stuck in against Dwight Mcneil. The other key battle is, like I said before, Lucas against Charlie Taylor. Charlie Taylor, I feel like, is going to be It's going to get exposed, I feel like, by Lucas, because Lucas, again, has practically dribbled by more players than most wingers in the Premier League so far this season. I mean, he's kind of he's not really at St. Maximin numbers or Adama Traore numbers, but he's kind of close to that when you think about it. So basically, Charlie Taylor is going to have a handful tomorrow with Lucas. So that is going to be a huge key battle. And I just want Lucas to give Charlie Taylor that nice and early yellow card, where then they'll just be struggling from there. And that is the end of the show, everybody. That is the end of Stats with Jack. Hopefully you did enjoy this one. It is, everybody, the show where you can now go into tomorrow with a bit of kind of, optimism, also with a bit of realism, because we showed you how Burnley can hurt us. We also showed you how Spurs can hurt Burnley. So it's not like we just, described, all the ways that, we can, defeat Burnley tomorrow. We also showed you how Burnley can also hurt us. So you can basically into the pub tomorrow, you can basically be the smartest man in the room on how we could lose to the Clarets or how we might beat the Clarets tomorrow. But everybody, that is the end of the show for Stats with Jack.
Do you know what, Jack? Absolutely love it, my man. Absolutely love it, lad. You're a great show again, as always. You do a tremendous job putting this together. I have to say, I absolutely loved it when I seen Son slowing down, cutting inside. It's made my evening. It just shows the level of attention you really put into it. Look, finding the stats, getting them all, putting them into the presentation, then hopping on that monstrosity of the what's it called, the movement pad that we have there. It's absolutely, honestly, I don't know how you put this together every week. It's absolutely brilliant. So please, everybody, please give Jack all the love he deserves in the chat. Every single week he brings this together, and believe me, it's not easy. I mean, I had a looking at how to do all them things, and I mean, it's just mind-boggling. It's a headache. So please do, show Jack the love that he deserves for putting this together. It's absolutely incredible. And look, like he said, he's making you the most informed man, and you don't even have to tell anyone. You could just list off the stats, and you don't even need to tell them where you got them, because I actually think this show is probably one of the best kept secrets, to be honest.
Maybe so, yeah. Maybe so. I would just say, especially because it's not even like we just talk about, like I said, it's just a great way to basically go into it quite level-headed as well, because I've seen before, I think even as well, like the way we conceded to Leeds with Dan James at the back post was literally something that I drew up even last time, which was actually quite painful when I think about it. So it is, whenever we concede, usually there's a pretty decent chance that it's probably something that you saw at Stats with Jack. Usually most of the goals that we do concede to the other team, it's probably you saw it in Stats with Jack. So
Yeah.
we'll say, everybody, you definitely can use this show as basically your marker to basically think about how, we might get hurt and also how we might hurt the other team. So hopefully you find, a bit of something to listen to, something that you enjoyed when it comes to this show. Hopefully you find something that you learned every single time. It does take a bit of work for this one. Actually, surprisingly, this time I was actually having to kind of rush it because I am also on a bit of a time zone difference for this one. So I had to kind of rush through this one a bit more than I usually do. Hopefully you didn't notice that as much. But like always, everybody, it always is a pleasure to do the show because it helps me then go into the previews. It helps me go into the watch-alongs way more informed than I ever would be.
No, 100%. Look, it is absolutely a great show, Jack. Just look at the comments there, what the people are saying about you. I'll get them up now in a minute. But the Botan do, it says perhaps Conte should start in the midfield. Yeah, that would be nice. A bit of a throwback. The guy's an absolute nutter. He'd definitely bring the passion, the desire, and the work rate that is desired. The Botan. But no,
did you see him in the rondo? Did you see him in the practice, Dave? Yeah, it was brilliant.
I couldn't keep out of it. I couldn't keep out of it. He's absolutely, man, I love him. He's so infectious. But the Botan, I couldn't agree more with you. I really couldn't agree more with you. Look, just read out some of these. Amazing show. Well, well done, Big Jack. Jack is so smooth. He's a walking Manscaped advert. Jack's the stats ball specialist. Good show, lads, and the chat was funny. Jack is amazing. All the work he puts in for the Harris Army and over on Flat Cap. I don't know how he does it sometimes. It's like they have 40-hour days in New York City. Cody Matt, Jacko Kanikolenko is always on point. Brilliant Spurs YouTuber.
Appreciate you.
Judge Jody, Jack is the GOAT. Well done, Jack.
Jody.
Good job, boys. As always, fair play to you, Jack. Awesome show, lads. Well done, Jack. Well done,
Appreciate
Jack.
you guys.
Animations,
Appreciate you.
absolutely spot on. It's just, honestly, there's more. There's loads more there. It's unbelievable. Everyone, big yourself up. And look, Jack deserves all the praise for this one. I'll be honest, this is the only show during the week that all I have to do is show up. That's all I have to do. Jack does absolutely everything. So especially on this show, never, ever thank me. Always thank Jack. The other shows, yeah, you can thank me as well. But this one, it's all about Jack. I just rock up. That's all I do. But everybody, make sure you do tune back here at 10 a.m. in the morning for the preview, for the build-up to the Burnley game. Make sure you get your coffees on, the toast out, get some butter on that bad boy, and tune into the Irish Hotspur for 10 a.m.
Smell the coffee tomorrow. Harris Army, smell the coffee tomorrow.
No, 100%. Look, Corn Rolls, Cornier will deal with him. The Ginger Holmes Simpson and Sean Deitch will deal with him. You've got Lawton the Locust. We'll definitely deal with that guy. You've got Chris Woody from Toy Story. Should be, hopefully we can deal with him. And then you got Brown Nose Brownhill as well. And Charlie Taylor, he's called Drill Bit Taylor in my eyes. So there's all the nicknames you need for tomorrow as well, guys. But honestly, everybody, big yourself up. Really appreciate every single one of you tuning in. Really appreciate everyone who smashed the like button. Really appreciate everybody, who smashed the subscribe button. And really appreciate everybody who helped support the channel financially with the super chats and the channel memberships. You have no idea how much it really, really helps us out. But all I want to say is a massive thank you from the bottom of my heart. All you guys are absolutely amazing. As well, just quickly, if you do want to check out, maybe a bit of truth after Thursday's game, do get over to We Are Tottenham TV. Someone's called it my finest hour, even though it's only 20 minutes long. But do get over there and check out the fan cam I done on there. Absolutely amazing. I'll be honest with you, I couldn't even believe I hit so many points myself. But honestly, absolutely love it. 10 a.m. back here tomorrow. And yeah, look, we'll be absolutely raring to go from 10 a.m. So like I said, coffee in, get the coffee on, get the toast in, and let's do it, baby. Because
it's the long haul for David tomorrow, as it always is, everybody. Match day is a big long haul for him. He does the pre-pump up, then he does the pre-match pump up, then he does the watch along. So it is that time where you are going to get all of David, basically. And as well, you probably then catch him on We Are Tottenham TV as well. He puts in a full shift tomorrow, everybody. So hopefully we'll be grabbing that 3 points tomorrow. But definitely tune in, everybody, for the preview tomorrow morning, everybody, as well as also please join us for the watch along as well, because I will be alongside Marcelo and David for that one as well, which I do enjoy being with Marcelo for all the watch alongs. So if you do like Marcelo, definitely tune in for the watch along. Just basically no better place to be than tomorrow with us at the Irish Hotspur.
No, there's definitely not. And Kuva, look, if Jack wouldn't score all them goals if I didn't have the vision, my man, we're a team, Kuva. You will never break us up. No matter what you say, you'll never break us up.
Like breaking up Sonny and Kane. It's like
we're
breaking up Sonny and Kane. You can't do it. You just can't do it.
No, it is. Look, I'll be honest with you now. Don't get me wrong. Now, the last few nights, I've had an absolute stinker. Long days, tired. I've had a stinker. But, Kuva, you're pushing me to get out more, doing more FIFA, and I'll show you. I will show you. Make sure you tune in for the next one. I'm going to show you, who's the Ronaldinho on the pitch, man. We're going to score some goals. We're going to take people on. And my defending will be absolutely spot on. But big up, Kuva. You're getting me motivated. And truth sets you free. Does Manscaped give you grundle butter in the kit? everything but the butter. Truth sets you free. Everything but the butter, my man.
They did come up, though. They do give you actually a nice deodorant, I will say, which I never thought would actually ever happen. Because back in the old days, everybody, I used to kind of just, spray a bit of, whatever body spray or, kind of some of the bad stuff, in that kind of area that probably isn't good for it. And now they actually do have you covered as well with a bit of that or a bit of that deodorant, a bit of that kind of also spray. It comes in kind of two different forms, like a little lotion, a little spray. So it just makes everything smell nice and good down there, because we all know sometimes it really does smell quite, unpleasant. So definitely, everybody, there's just tons of stuff to get this holiday season, especially come Cyber Monday via Manscaped. But definitely, everybody, use that code FLATCAP like it already is in the pinned comments.
No, absolutely love it. Absolutely love it. Well, look, guys, there we have it. Make sure you tune in tomorrow to see my work. You've seen Jack's tonight. Make sure you tune in at 10 a.m. tomorrow to see my work, my special, which is the previews. So, look, guys, we'll see y'all then. 10 a.m. Be there or be square. Let's have it. Bring on Burnley. Bring on the Ginger Homer Simpson. Woo! In Tottenham we love, and in Conte we trust. Come on, you Spurs.
Come on, you Spurs. In Conte we trust.
Come on.